you ever been flipping through the monster manual, searching for something to throw into your 5-room dungeon, some kind of BBEG, something, you're just looking for a little spice, looking for a little interesting guy to throw at your party. But then you realize that interesting guy is starting to look real interesting. You think, oh, I've never seen a cultist's cloak flow in that way. Or, oh, that chain devil, what that chain do? Luckily for you, I'm here to tell you where you should be looking. If you've ever wondered to yourself what factually is the hottest monster in the monster manual, I'm sure you could find debates all over the internet, tentacles here, cloaks there, boobies there, spikes here, the tastes are varied, the tastes are in depth, the tastes are unique. Celebrating the arrival of the 2025 monster manual, it is time to rank the sexiest monster manual art that we can find in the book. Now, luckily for all of you degenerates, I have taken the time to download over 250 images. All of the pictures that are printed or will be printed in the 2025 monster manual that are currently available in the kind of early access on D&D Beyond. I went through and downloaded every single one of them, and I will be placing them in the categories you see before you. As you can see, there are 8 categories. I have arranged them top to bottom. Top, obviously, I am on the bed already. There's no question about it. Whatever you do, whatever you say, I'm doing it. After that, we go, yeah, I'm down. It's not like instantaneous, like the zap of attraction. It's the, like, you know what? Yeah, I bet when I get to know you, or, if I'm drunk, we could have fun, You're looking good. And then we go down to, we could try, I guess, which is, it might require some effort. It might require some thought. It might require some finagling, but I can see it working. And then we have Hear Me Out. If any of you have been on Instagram or TikTok, I assume you have maybe or maybe not seen the Hear Me Out cakes. This is a judgment-free zone, all right? It's a judgment-free zone. Hear me out. And then we've crossed into the platonic categories. We could be besties. I'm not feeling it that way, but I think you and I could have a good time playing some board game. We could play games. We could go for ice cream. We could talk Watsy's, business decisions. I don't know. We could just hang out. Then I have obsessed with the art. I'm not making a comment on your appearance or your personality. The artists, they popped off, okay? The art is so good. And there are several things that I would put in, one category and also obsessed with the art. But, that's obsessed with the art is reserved for like peak of the peak. Just like, that's a painting, Okay. Then we have no thanks. I think that speaks for itself. It's a no, Bye-bye, it's a no. And then we have, this is literally an animal/object. A large portion of the monster manual are just things and like birds. No, it's a no. Those are the things that you don't consider, you don't think about, you don't analyze. It's just no, you know what I mean? I think we're gonna get started. We start from the top with A for Aarakocra, right? Beautiful, beautiful art. I love the pinks and the blues in the upper Aarakocra. Look at this guy, his fucking spear, it's glowing. I don't know. All right, so I think we got to start this off early. I'm not a furry, right? I'm not a scaly. I'm not a birdie. I'm not into the whole animal shtick. So we got to put this in the obsessed with art, right? Obsessed with the art. First one. Next in line, Aboleth. All right, so I'm seeing the mood. The mood of this illustration is fantastic. It makes me feel creeped out. It kind of reminds me of like black and white movies, kind of horror movies. So, not my thing, but this art is beautiful. Too many teeth, too many tentacles, too much evil, like not good vibes, but good art. So, the Aboleth goes into obsessed with art. Moving on. Air Elemental. Classic. Or not, I don't know. I haven't been playing D&D that long. I knew like less than half of these monsters. Let's be real. But I feel like with this one, it could be sort of sensory experience, sort of an all body encompassing, like, sexy, sexy words on the air passing to your ears. I'm gonna stop explaining myself. I'm gonna put air elemental in hear me out. All right, hear me out. Okay? Hear me out. Allosaurus. This is a dinosaur. Pass. This is literally an animal or object. Animal lords. So I understand that there's a subsection of people on the internet who I'm sure are very excited by this. It doesn't do it for me. You know, it really doesn't. Like, theoretically, it could work. You know, like, physically, I'm sure this could work for those of you out there who are interested in that kind of thing. Yeah. But for me, it's a no thanks. You know, I don't need the fur. I don't need the, it's a no thanks. Animated items, right? This includes carpet, animated sword, animated armor. I'm sure they could do like a cool trick or something, but it's literally just like stuff, you know? Like if I was gonna use stuff, I could use stuff that's intended for that, you know? You know what I mean? So putting the animated items into, this is literally an animal / object. You know, it's just stuff. Onkeg. Recently, in the campaign Daði is running for me and some of our other friends, we ran into an Onkeg. Scary fight. We were level 2 and 3, so it kind of burst out of the ground. It almost killed Seraph. R.I.P. You know, he's back, but he has a broken rib, like, permanently. This thing, terrifying, very spiky, hard carapace, I don't know how the hell to say that word. It's a ground bug. No thank you, Onkeg. Archelon, animal. Arcanoloth. I did say I wasn't a furry, but he kind of smooth with it, you know? Look at the pose. Look at the arch. The hand. The magic. The little snout glasses. The teeth trim along the coat. Alright, so I know I said I wasn't a furry, but hear me out. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Archhags. You know, I'm gonna be real here. They're old. They're old and I'm not into that. They're old and they look old, you know? If you give me like a 30,000-year-old dragon in a human form, I'm like, you know, that's cool. If you look my age, I can deal with it. But if you look like you're 20,000 years old, and that's why archhags get a no thanks. Assassin. Smash. This person of nebulous gender, clearly agile, sneaky, intelligent, powerful, and looks like they're killing someone rich as fuck. So, you know, socialism. Taking the rich down a peg. Eat the rich. Therefore, I'm on the bed already. I will do what they tell me to because they'll probably kill me otherwise. But like in a sexy way, you know? The threat's there, but like in a sexy fun way. Awakened plant. This is a tree. A plant / animal / object. There you go. Next up, Axebeak. Animal. Azers. I dig the design. You know, they're like metal people, metal dwarves, flame hair, powerful, muscular, confident, angry. You know, I'd be down to try. They know who they are. They know what they want. They'd show me something I'd never experienced before. The fireness and the metal body would make things difficult. This is our first. We could try, I guess. You know, I don't know if it would work, but if they're down to put in the effort, I'm down to put in the effort, you know? Meet in the middle if I don't melt as soon as I touch them. Balor. Yes, I'm not going to elaborate any further. No, I will not take any questions. Do I really have to explain where this goes based on my assassin ranking? They're bandits. They're rogues. Anyone who knows me knows that rogues are my weakness in terms of character types. I know it says bandits. Okay, it says bandits. But just, they're rogues. If they're rogues, they're sexy. They know what they're doing. They know how to move. They know how to tease. They know how to be little annoying fucks, you know, to get you pent up with rage. You know, hate sex, anger. Also, just look at her, you know, booby. Like, anyways, obviously, I'm on the bed already. They'll probably steal all my money, like, while I'm cleaning up, and I couldn't be surprised. Banshees. I like the flowing white hair, but the kind of gaping maw situation with sort of the black, soulless, hollow eyes. I don't think it's working for me. I'm sorry, sweetie. It's a no thanks. I'm sorry. Plus, they're like incorporeal, but in a way that I think they would be more uncomfortable than the air elemental, because they're like dead, you know? I'm not into that. Bard's Devil. Props to him for walking around naked. You know, that takes a lot of courage. The face, not working for me. Yeah, I said it, he's ugly. It's covered in spikes. It has like wispy white little hair things at the top of his head. I bet his skin is like mottled and like calloused and gross feeling. And he's standing in a bunch of gold, which to me says either needy, ew, vain, ew, or rich, which, you know, is fun, but on a, like, from a moral standpoint, I can't be with you. Barb Devil, you go to no thanks. It's a no thanks. On to Barlgura. Now, this guy, he's powerful. It's still a no. I'm sorry. I know I started that sentence really positive. It's a no. I'm just saying I vibe with this design way more, but I cannot tell what the is going on with his face. There's nails in the body. There's spikes coming out. It almost looks like the swamp monster from Avatar if it, like, became an orangutan. Cool monster design, but no thanks. Basilisk. This thing looks cool. It's the first time I'm seeing art of this. In my mind, Basilisk is like that thing from Harry Potter where it, like, turns you to stone or something. I don't know. Oh, there's stone guys at the bottom. Okay, maybe that is still what it does. I dig the crystal, the crystal vibe. Never seen that. 8 legs. Very cool. It's still a no, but, like, if I was a basilisk also, like a girl basilisk, this one looks good. Bearded Devil. Sorry, I just have one thing to say, but what the fuck? Why is the beard tentacles? Also, he has, like, the wispiest black mutton chops that kind of, like, go over his ears. And he's bald. And he has, like, the long ponytail. I feel like he just kind of needs to get his fashion sense together, because if I see something named Bearded Devil, you know, if you tell me, oh, I know the sexy Bearded Devil, I'm gonna think of something with an actual beard. Sorry, but limbs are not a beard. I think this is false advertising. And for that, it's a no thanks. Moving on. But here, dig the color. I'm a big fan of blue. Love the kind of translucentness. It is like a weird dragon worm gross looking thing though. So obviously it's a no. Sorry to the Behir fans out there. Sorry to hate on your boy, but it's a no thanks. Or girl. You know? Slay. Beholder. Now, I know this one carries a lot of weight in the D&D lore. You know, the eye stalks, they can kill you, they can petrify you, they can poison you, they can zap you, they can do, I don't know. I've only fought a beholder like once before, so I don't know what all the eyes do. D&D icon. So I feel like they could tell me a lot of stories, you know? I feel like they'd have a lot to say. They'd have a lot to regale me with. Like, man, the other week I killed, like, this group of 10 adventurers. I was just trying to say hi. They kept trying to steal my gold. I had to, you know, petrify all of them. I think that's warranted. And that's why I want to be besties with the beholder. You know what I mean? They've seen like 10 times as much as I could, you know? So they could tell me about cool stuff they saw. Alright. Black Dragon Wormling. Yep, they got 3 different arts for each dragon. So we're going to look at every art. Black Dragon Wormling. This looks like a little pissant, gross little thing that's just like sitting in a puddle of goop. And he looks evil. He looks like just a little, like, evil, terrible weasel. It is technically a dragon baby, so obviously it's an immediate no. But also, it's like an evil one. So it's like a mega no. If I could make a worse one, not just like no thanks, but like fuck you. You know what I mean? That's where the wormling goes. Alright, adult black dragon. He has only gotten worse, you know? He was like an evil little child, and now he's an evil adult that's melting walls and killing people. He's just causing chaos and being evil and bad, and, you know, not even bad in like a ooh bad way. You know what I mean? Just like, can you stop that? You're ruining work. This is annoying. Unfortunately, I think no thanks is going to be one of the biggest categories. But I think it's okay to have high standards. Ancient Black Dragon. It looks like they've chilled out a bit. Or at least, you know, they're not recklessly rampaging, spitting acid, or whatever the hell the Black Dragon's damage is. You know, this one is cunning. This one is thinking. This one is planning. Like, it wants to kill me, but it's not going to just run over and tear my throat out, you know? It's going to think about how it can lead me into this pool of acid. How it can kill me slowly. You know, it's going to savor it. Maybe it can savor other things, you know? Hear me out. You know, it's like everyone has a toxic ex. I could have a toxic one-night stand. In, like, the moment where it doesn't feel like immediately killing me. There's an excitement to that. All right, so I know there's a subset of people that would be into this. I am not a part of that subset of people. Look at that sword. It's melting. It's bubbling away. That is the only thing that is going to happen to my skin if I got anywhere near this. I don't even want to try. You are a no thanks. Berserkers. Look at those abs. You know? Look at the abs on this one. Look at the size of the axe that he's carrying. Look at the abs. Look at the thighs. This guy is powerful. This guy's gonna tell me what to do and I'm gonna thank him for it. You know? It's just that simple. I really, like, the gray skin, the leather, the hide look, not my thing, so I am gonna bump him down, or bump them down, because this is berserkers plural. Bump them down to, yeah, I'm down. But I think I could have a good time. Blight. I think these would literally fall apart the moment I touch them. They look like they're made of twigs. Therefore, I don't think much would be possible. Also, they look like evil little fucks. So, you know, I don't need that kind of chaos. I don't need that in my life. Therefore, it is a no thanks. These guys had a couple of other kind of variations in the monster manual. Needle blight. So what I said about the little ones does not apply. These things, at least from the angle and from what I'm assuming, look like they're way bigger. Like these are people sized. The spiky one, I think it would just be pure pain. The vine one, I'd rather stay away from. So, you know, unfortunately, even though they're bigger, I'm not into it. You know, I'm not into it. They gotta go. They gotta go into no thanks. These guys also have a weird tree cousin. The answer is still no. You know, sorry, I think just blights as a category, it's a pass. Also, that thing is filled with skulls. Like, if your innards are disgusting, this is not a conversation that we can have. I need hygiene. It's a tree, so maybe you should go into is it a plant? Like, the awakened tree is sentient. If this is sentient, it's still a plant. Anyways, the answer is no. Blink dog. This is an animal. Obviously, it's a no. But it's a dog. It's a blink dog. Daði gave me one of these in the solo campaign that he runs from me. Technically, I don't have it anymore because I pawned it off to one of my sidekicks because I can't be walking around with a dog all the time. But I love him. I love him. I love the patterns. I love the blinking. I love the teleporting. You know, this guy, I would die for him. I would. Obviously, you're besties with the blink dog. You know, it's a dog. Man's best friend. Man's best friend. It's in the name. Best friend. Blob of Annihilation. I think on a base level, this wouldn't work because I think this goal is to kill everyone and everything. There's a giant skull in there. It's blobbing into this town. And I gotta say, the skull appearance is a turnoff. You know? As much as the colors are pretty, they match the Mystic Arts color scheme. But I think, you know, from like a moral standpoint, I can't do this. I am sorry. Blob of Annihilation is a no thanks. Carrying on. Blue Dragon Wormling. Okay, this guy, he looks like he's a little fucker, but like I think this would be a useful friend to have. Therefore, I want to take advantage of the power and influence that this wormling could bring to my life. I do, in fact, want to be besties with the Blue Dragon Wormling. I don't think they would want that, but I do, you know? And this is about my tastes and my wants. This is about my ideal placement of these things in relation to, you know, me. So, wormling best friend, please. Adult Blue Dragon. This looks sick. Lightning, check. Giant wings, check. Horn, nose horn, check. I think it's fighting a white dragon or something. Like, this looks dope. It gets me hyped. Adult Blue Dragon, you're going into obsessed with the art. You look cool, you look dope. It's an action shot. It looks sick. It just looks sick. Ancient Blue Dragon, I'm actually not as impressed. I don't like the thickness of the neck. It like melts into the body. Like if someone's neck is the same width as their body, there's something wrong, no matter if it's, you know, small or large. There's some armies, they're armies fighting each other on the bottom there. I don't know. This art to me isn't as interesting. Also, this could kill me. Obviously, the previous two iterations could also kill me, but this one looks like he's way more to kill me because it's like people fighting people, but before it was dragon versus dragon. So this one I will be running and screaming from and saying, no thank you, please don't kill me. You know? Sorry, Blue Dragon. Bone Devil. This art fucks. This art is so good. This art is so good. The style. the lighting, the shadows, the like red, almost like iridescent in the wing. Like this gives me like Nosferatu horror movie, like classic horror, not like jump scare, just like disturbing, horrifying. The blood, like the red ends on the horns and the claws and the tail. Chef's kiss. I don't want this thing anywhere near my body, but this art, probably one of the best. I'm gonna make this bigger. Probably one of the best arts in the book. Bone Devil art is so good. Bone Naga. Not as impressive as Bone Devil. Also, there's like a guy there. Sorry, guy, person. You are not part of the stat block. It's not Bone Naga and Human Servant. It's Bone Naga. And because you are a pile of bones, the answer is no thank you. Brass Dragon Wormling. Obsessed. The wings, really unique design. It's like kind of softer, not as jagged. The ends. It looks like a little lizard, like a desert lizard. Obviously there's like, desert themes in the back. You see the cactus. Cutie. Such a cutie. Obviously brass dragon. When we get to the metallic dragons, they are good. So I feel like they will inherently treat me better than their evil counterparts. I would hope that they treat me better than their evil counterparts. This is still a child. I'm not a freak. I do want to be best friends with a brass dragon wormling. It looked so smart. It looked so poised, so confident. Like I feel like I could have some good talks with the brass dragon wormling. Adult brass dragon, I'm not as into. The wing design is still cool, but I don't know. I don't like this kind of like weird like hammerhead design. Like I think the look was cute when they were younger. I don't think it's as cute as now that they're an adult. So unfortunately, I think the adult brass dragon is going to a no thanks. It's just not a look that I'm into from a standpoint. Ancient brass dragon, different. I feel like it's really grown into those unique features that it's had, right? Like the adult stage, let's be honest, it didn't really look like an adult stage. It looked like an awkward teenager stage. This dragon is poised, it's regal, and I love the kind of like the little rim lighting here on the wings. I love the color. I love the kind of billowing sand clouds in the distance. So actually this art I find beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So obviously Ancient Brass Dragon, obsessed with the art. They did a really good job with the dragons in the 2025 Monster Manual. Really, really love it. Lovely, lovely. Camel animal. Bugbears. Okay. They look weird, right? They look weird. They're covered in fur, and I have already established that I don't like the kind of hide barbarian clothing aesthetic, right? For the berserkers, I was into the physique, not the fashion. Like, I feel like this one would depend on the personality. So I think I'm going to put bugbears into we could try, I guess. Not because there would be physical complications, but because I would need to get over like the mental roadblock of them looking like a furry creature and being called bugbear. But don't know much about these. I love their chonky vibe. I want to hang out with them. I want them to like dip in and out of the ground, do some backflips, and I go, sick, do a triple backflip, do a kickflip, do a barrel roll. This would be sort of a, observational relationship where I just sit there and go, you guys look great, keep doing what you're doing. So, but let's go and we could be besties. I think so. I think we really could. Bullywugs. Look at the fashion. Look at the sword. The sword is literally like the sword is coming out of a bug. The thing that goes over your hand guard, arm guard. I don't know what it's called. It's a bug. He's holding a staff. There's flies. They're standing on lily pads. Their armor is leaves. There's plants. These guys are sick. I don't want to touch them. They're probably slimy, but I want to hang out with them. That's why I'm going to be besties with the Bullywug. Cambion. Girl, is this even a question? Smash. Yeah. I'm gonna do whatever they need. Evil potions, rituals, human sacrifice, bloodletting. Morals, I think, don't exist around these guys. For them or me. Cambions, can you be on my bed? Because I'm there already. Carrion crawlers. disgusting, disgusting, ew, these are bugs, these are just giant bugs, they're wet, gross bugs, spitting tentacle bugs. No, it's a no. It's a no thanks. It's a no thanks. Centaurs. Alright, listen, the half-half combo is weird to me. It's weird to me. It's the parts are horse, you know? Not that it would be any better if it was like a human body and a horse head. I think no. I don't want that. No one wants that. These guys are sick, though. I want to talk to them. I want to hang out with them. I really don't want to get under them. No. So I want to be besties with the centaurs. Chain Devil. Okay, to be fair, this one lives up to his name more than Bearded Devil, right? This is a guy just made of chains. He's holding chains. He's summoning chains. He's made of chains. He's living up to his namesake. I don't want that in me, on me. I don't want it near me. And I don't think you could talk, actually, so it's probably just a no. Yeah, so Chain Devil, you go to no thanks. No thanks is definitely gonna be the biggest kid. Chasmi? Chasm? Horrifying. It's got like bug legs in the background. I couldn't kiss it because there's just the spike there, and it does look evil and murderous. Again, not in a sexy way. So Chasmi, Chase Me, Cassandra, you're going in no thanks. Chimera, iconic beast of myth. That's about all I have to say. It's just a combo of animals. Like, technically there's a dragon in there, but and we all know the rules about this is literally a plant / object / animal. No thanks. Sorry, Chimera. Chul, sick design. Love a green-red. Love a complementary colored design. Again, I don't want this anywhere near me or on me or in me, but like, this guy looks like he could have a soft streak, you know? Like, maybe he's just kind of misunderstood. We could hang out. He's probably never had ice cream, because like, how are you supposed to hold ice cream with those claws / pincers, right? And it's probably kind of hard to eat. Like, you just have like a tentacle mouth. So we could get a blizzard. I could just kind of hold it up or like pour it. You know, I want to make sure this guy has a nice day. He's probably just kind of bitter because he can't eat ice cream. I think I could be besties with the Chul. Clay Golem. This guy is friend-shaped. He's even got a little birdie sitting on him. And there's kids in the background. They look a little afraid, a little wary, but they're not running away. You know, they're being careful because their parents taught them to stay away from huge things because they live in a fantasy world where cockatrices could run and eat their cow. You know, like, I want to make sure this guy has a good day. I want to vibe with him. I feel like he'd be a good meditation partner. I do, in fact, want to be besties with a clay golem. Maybe I shouldn't reframe this to we could be besties. No, it's not we could be besties. It's I want to be its friend. You know what I mean? That's a little different. Cloaker. Get it out of my face. Get it out of my face. Get its evil little face out of my face. It's a no thanks, you little gremlin. Cloud giants. You know, I like me a big woman. I like me a tall woman. I'm not in love with the fangs. I feel like the last time I saw a picture of a cloud giant, they didn't have like vampire fangs. But the vibes are impeccable. I love the floaty cloud hair. Big. You know? Like, the fangs are a little bit of a turnoff, but it's still a hell yeah, I'm down. You know? Miss Cloud Mistress. Float me away. Cockatrice. Obsessed with this art. I want to zoom in here. Just kind of look at the textured brush strokes here. I really, really love the coloring and the kind of the little farmer in the background chasing after this. There's movement. There's the insanity of this weird chicken, rooster, bird, dragon thing. I really love the art. I really love the style. So this is going into obsessed with the art. Colossus. Now listen. Okay, objectively, he is huge, right? They are colossal. Look at the people on the tiny. But like, are there smaller ones? You know, I think due to the size, just the size difference would make things difficult. So Colossus is gonna have to go into. We could try, I guess, but you know, if I could die if he like moves a step forward, it might be a bit difficult. Commoners. Yes, this is a creature type. Or it's in the monster manual. Okay, obviously commoners could be literally anyone, any person of any species. They could look like anything. So, theoretically there's like my ideal type of person in terms of appearance that could file under as commoners. There's no one on this picture that I'm like, particularly interested in. I love seeing like all the different kinds of people. I think it's really cool. But like, okay, yes, like we could. Yeah, like they're not on this picture, which, is what technically that's how I'm judging this. So there's no one here in this picture that I'm like, damn, yeah. But due to the fact that like theoretically my ideal person is over there, I'm gonna put commoners and like, yeah, I'm down. It's like, if we vibe, if we have a good time, I don't care about status. Like, I'm sure you... Like, okay, yes. Commoners as a whole. Sure, I'm down. Constrictor snake. Animal. Copper dragon wormling. First of all, adorable. They have these, like, little mouse... It has a little mouse friend. This could be a rabbit. There's more mice on the books here. They're all getting down. They're having a little book club. I want to join their book club. I want to talk about whatever the heck they are talking about. I want to be besties with the Copper Dragon Wormling. Adult Copper Dragon, immediately the vibes are off. I hate how weird and snaky looking the neck is. I don't know, something about the like weird, the blue things here underneath is like freaking me out. I don't know, we went from like adorable, knowledgeable baby to like weird snake worm thing. I don't know, the Copper Dragon is freaking me out. So unfortunately the adult Copper Dragon goes in no thanks because I just get the heebie-jeebies from seeing it. This also applies to the ancient one. I don't know, why is the neck that long? Like, it's very cool that it's surrounded by all these colorful creatures. Great. But I'm actively avoiding looking at the Copper Dragon. So unfortunately the ancient one also has to go no thanks because I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it. All right, we've gotten to the point where there's several pictures here on the end that I might need to just like scoot. Here, I can like blink myself for a second. There you go. It's on the end. Quattle? I don't know how to say this. Obsessed with the colors. Love the colors. Beautiful colors. I love the kind of the waterfalls in the background, the bright green glowing egg. I really think this is a very nice, wonderful little art. So the Quaggoth, nope, different. Quaddle, whatever the heck it's called, I love the art. Crawling claws. So I'm sure there are people out there that would be into this. It don't do it for me. In fact, it freaks me the hell out. Crawling claws are a no thanks. I might just start stacking them on top because this category is so large. I think I'm going to have to start stacking things on top of each other. Death cultists. Alright, so the thing is, if we just pretend like this person isn't here, I'd be down. Look at these sexy people covered in I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop making excuses. I'm going to stop explaining myself because the death cultists are hear me out. Alright? The designs are cool. They look cool. It's like an army of goth girlfriends. Like, elemental aberrant cultist. Alright, so the cultists was kind of the header. We've gone into a subsection. These, yes, they kind of glow green, but are grosser looking. I'm not as into it. Honestly, I like the fire one more than this one. But I don't know. I'm not feeling these two. I'm sorry. I forgot I have to drag the no thanks into, like, on top of each other. Cyclops. I'm sorry, but I just cannot get over how silly they look with one eye. I dig whatever magic is going on here. Like the glowing is cool, the arm, the hand motions, the ninjutsu, whatever. Cool cloak. You guys look silly with one eye. I don't think it would be fair to laugh at you when we're trying to have a good time together. That I don't think anyone should be subjected to that. Cyclops is a no thanks. Dao. That's a strong looking woman. There is a world where I would be into this. But I'm actually, so I talked about the abs of the berserkers before. I'm actually not into like too much muscle. To me, there's such a thing as too muscled that I think other women, other people wouldn't consider too much. But to me, the bicep here is big. It's big. And I don't know. I'm not into it. I prefer scrawnier, weaker people. Dope ass design. I would want to get to know this person. I would want to get to hang out with them. I would want access to their immense collection of belts. I would want a recommendation to their belt store. So I would love to be a Dow's friend, a Dow's bestie. Dark Mantle. So, I mean, this here could be quite suggestive to some of you. I am not into this. This looks like once it starts, it wouldn't stop, you know? That doesn't seem very consensual to me. Not to mention the fact that it looks like there's barbs underneath, which means it wouldn't really be all that much of a pleasant experience. Also, they look fucking gross. They just look gross. Dark Mantles, it's a no thanks. Death Dog. This reminds me of that enemy in Elden Ring, like the giant dog head that you find, oh god, I forget the area, the like red hell area. Everyone who has played Elden Ring knows what I'm talking about. And therefore, this is an automatic no, get it away from me. Like, it's a dog, yes, obviously, but it's just a, like, it's such a visceral no. So I'm not even going to put it, I'm putting it in the no thanks because I need it gone, okay? Not just because it's a dog. Death Knight. No, you know what? These guys are skeletons, which means this is probably a skeleton just with the cooler helmet. The art is fantastic though. Real moody. I really love the textured, it might be the same person that did the Bone Devil art. I didn't take note of all the artist names. There's a lot. They're on D&D Beyond in the monster manual for all of the images. They list all the artist names, so you should go and check them out there. I have not linked them here, but you should do so if you like any of the things you've seen. Obsessed with this. So cool. Love the flaming green sword. Dope vibes. And for that, obviously, Death Knight goes into obsessed with the art. Death Tyrant. Speaking of fantastic art, can we talk about how psychedelic these pink rays are? Like, I love the pinkness, how it's kind of like bouncing out, the kind of curvature here. I love the little kind of like white wisps in the center that seem to be kind of rotating and turning into this beam that's shooting out. The kind of like milky whiteness in the Death Tyrant's eyes. I don't know what's behind him. Probably zombies. I don't actually know what the heck this does. I just know that the design slays the art, slays the colors, slay. For that reason, obviously, Death Tyrant goes into obsessed with the art. That is a fantastic art piece. Direwolf, animal. Demi-Lich. Is this a Sararak? Isn't a Sararak a Demi-Lich? Anyways. This guy looks like he would be a pain in the ass to talk to, but I feel like it would also be one of those things that could just talk and talk and talk. And one of those friends that it's like, hey, I don't feel like doing anything. Can you talk for the both of us? And then he does. He'd probably be a bit obnoxious about it. 50% of the stories this thing tells is about him and how great he is. But sometimes I feel like that's just kind of what we need, you know, if we're in a bad mood, if we want to think about other things. So I am actually going to try to be friends with a Demi-Lich. You know, this is a judgment-free zone. Deva. We don't need to talk about this one. That's okay. I don't, there's no, like, if you don't know at this point, if you don't know that I would be on the bed, I would be sat. I'm sat. I'm, you know, Displacer Beast. Horrifying. Like, I feel like there could have been a universe where they drew this as cute, but this ain't that universe. I mean, it's a glorified panther, basically. Displacer Beasts are going into... no thanks. It's a no. It's a no. It really is a no. Ginny. This is the kind of same experience as the Dao, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure the Dao they're related, right? Not in terms of family, but like they're similar. There's like the earth Jinn, the fire Jinn, the air Jinn. Isn't Dao the earth Jinn? Anyways, big woman, strong woman, respected. I think she's also in the belt club, but this one seems to be about joining coins. Not my thing, because I think observe the bicep shoulder area is larger than the head, I think. Obsessed with the colors, but just not my type of woman. Would love to get, you know, combat advice from her. Fashion. How to turn my hair into a cloud. You know? Doppelganger. This thing can be whatever you want it to. Like, if you don't meet it as a doppelganger, you're not going to know it's a doppelganger, right? Obviously, its true form is horrifying. Nightmare-inducing. But does that mean it's evil? Does that mean it's not deserving of love? You know, I feel like this kind of falls into the thing I said about the commoners. Like, yeah, the doppelganger could turn into whatever I want, right? So yeah, I'm down. You know, if I want to see what Mordenkainen looked like when he was like 25, they could do it, right? I don't actually know how these things work. I'm assuming they can do whatever they want. Maybe it's like, oh, they gotta see it or whatever. I don't know. You know, they can turn into whatever I want, whatever they want. I'm down. Dracolich. It's just a bone dragon. It's a bone dragon lich. I don't have anything interesting to say about this one. I don't want it near me. It's a no, sweetie. I'm sorry. Okay, it's a no for the Dracolich, unfortunately. Dragon turtle. This art is sick. The ocean, like the splashing water, seeing it next to the ship, like you really get a good feeling for how large this thing is, how powerful it is, just the kind of how it's like a tempest, the force of nature. In terms of art, if the water is beautiful. This really makes me think of like a lot of the paintings done about like ships, like in New England. This gives me New England vibes. Obviously, this is a shipwreck. People are dying. Terrible. But it gives me like those kind of moody ocean oil painting vibes. Love to see it. So obviously for that reason, Dragon Turtle, obsessed with the art. Love it. Like even from a distance, you know, you can see it's like all these pictures are tiny. But you can just see here the drama, the lighting, the contrast. A+. Dretches. This is a dretch. I've never heard of this before. It looks disgusting. It's covered in pus and boils and warts, and I don't... No thanks, dretch. It's a no thanks. Goodbye, sweetie. Drider. Alright. We all agree that the one in Baldur's Gate was kind of hot. If you look at it from a, like, waist up situation, you know, they could kind of, you know, maybe they got hand-eye coordination, right? I'm just gonna put this in hear me out and we don't need to talk about it, okay? Moving on. Druid. Oh, druids. My favorite class. The first character I ever made in Daði's homebrew world was a druid. Suvi, a circle of stars. My comfort character. Love these guys. Love a druid. You know, they're in tune with nature. They're in tune with their emotions. They're calm. They're in control. But they also know when to let go. They know when to let nature overtake them. They can wild shape. They can be overcome by emotions. But they know when to turn it off. You know? They're in tune with themselves and their environment. I am always down to be with someone who is in tune with their emotions, who is in tune with themselves, who knows who they are, and knows what they care about. Dryads. Yeah, it's a hell yeah for me. It really is a yeah, I'm down. Just, they're colorful, they're excited, they're druid adjacent. I love it, okay? Yeah, they're tree people, but I don't give a fuck. Earth Elemental. This one looks a bit more menacing than its air brother, air sibling, and therefore I don't really want to interact with it. I also think in order to run into one of these guys, I'd have to be pretty deep underground, and I'm pretty claustrophobic, or at least I don't want to get into caves, which means I don't think I would have any chance to interact with this guy. So it's going to be a no thanks on the Earth Elemental. Apologies. I'm just going to make it big there so we know what we're doing. Miss Afridi ma'am. Listen, we all liked Karlach, right? And if you didn't, you can't say she wasn't hot, right? Regardless of how you feel about her personality. Yeah, I'm gonna put the Afridi, just like the Azures, the melty metal guys. I think it would probably be physically painful and or maybe melt me if we did anything. But I'm gonna try. You know? We could try. Elemental Cataclysm. I don't know how this would work. Like even if I look at it from a purely logistics perspective, like, you know, not my personal taste or anything. I don't know how this would work. There's multiple heads. It's like coming out of the ground. I don't know what it is. I don't know how or what or why, unfortunately. So I think the Elemental Cataclysm is a no thanks. Empyreans, yeah. Galaxy vibe, check. Flowy hair, check. Pretty colors, check. Dope ass armor, check. Looking down at me like I'm not worth anything, check. Empyreans, I'm on the bed already. Erinyes. I don't know how to say their name, I'm sorry. Sick design. Love the glowy bits. Love that it's like the neon. Also the blue contrasting with the pink. Sick art. But like, what they trying to get into, you know? What's that whip for? You gonna like whip me or something? We could try. It is an Erin, yes, because I would like to try. We could try. Ettercap. Aren't these the little gross things that you fight in Baldur's Gate when you go underground, the like goblin, the little town where the goblin sentries are? These things are gross. They're just little gross sky weasel guys. But there's a weird kind of sweetness to them. Like, just looking at this, I'm like, look at the little shine in their eyes. I know they're, like, spitting gross web stuff, but, like, the roundness of these little spider mandible things is kind of cute. Like, I feel like these things are eating pixies and birds and stuff because that's the only thing they have access to, and if they ever, like, got out of the cave or the underground, they had a friend to guide them, maybe they wouldn't be so, like, gross and creepy, you know? I think these guys just need to get outside. They need to touch grass. I know that technically that they're standing in front of a tree in this art, but my comment still stands. But yeah, I think I want to be the Ettercap's friend. Etten. No. First of all, I'm sorry, but I'm not into the bald look. I know it's genetic. You can't control it, but I'm just not into it. And especially I'm not into it. Let me zoom in. I'm not into it when you have like the little bits of hair left and you got the chrome dome on top, right? I think when your hair's going, when it's really, really going, you have to accept it and you got to take the plunge, right? I think when you got the head really shiny, you know, and you got a nice facial hair and a nice outfit, I think I've seen men rock it, you know? It's the confidence that makes it. But this, the little Friar Tuck moment, no. The Ettins are a no thanks. The Ettins. Faerie Dragons, love these guys. Daði made the grave mistake of giving me a pet fairy dragon at level 1. Her name is Muffin. She is a menace, possibly the most powerful thing in our party because of the Euphoria breath. Now granted, this is 2025 Faerie Dragon, so the Euphoria breath was nerfed, but still. She's got a lot of hit points. She can be invisible. She's cute. She can fly. You know, I use her as a little sentry. She's also really great because I can send her in to bite things, and I'm a hunter ranger, so once a little bit of health is gone, my Colossus Slayer is procced, and I do so much damage. Anyways, love Faerie Dragons. I don't need to say I want to be their friend because canonically I am already their friend in my campaign. You know? They're cute. They're colorful. They're Faerie Dragons. Fire Elemental. This art is heavenly. This looks like an oil painting. Just the white inside, or like the really pale yellow that makes it look like the fire is glowing. The kind of this like arc of fire going like this. The orange around this raven or the crow, and I love the kind of leaping flame like licking up the elemental's body. I'm obsessed with this art. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Fire elemental has got to go into obsessed with the art. It is so good. Love the fire elemental art. Alright, fire giants. I'm not into the look. Armor is sick. But the weird, like, hair that goes up like this, I can't do it. I'm sorry. You guys are very strong, very powerful, but you don't look very friendly either. So Fire Giants is a no thanks. Flame Skulls. Cool art, still skulls, you know? And I think these would be more unhinged than a Demi-Lich, because they're on fire. I don't know if they feel that pain or not. So I think it's a no, sweetie. Flesh Golem. Yuck. I'm sure some of you guys have like Frankenstein fantasies out there. You know, you're like your little zombie girls, your zombie guys. The stitched together aesthetic, I see it on every other pit crew, you know. But it's just not my thing. The dead part bothers me. But yeah, so if you're dead, it's gonna be a no thanks. It's gonna be a no thanks. Flump. So immediate tentacles means I'm backing up. No matter how pretty or colorful or, you know, galaxy themed your color palette is, the tentacles do not. Also, this guy has like a creepy little evil little smile going on. What are you so happy about, you freak? Get the f away from me. Yeah, so it's a no. It's a no for the flump. Fomorian. God, we're really getting into the gross ones now. No, It's absolutely not. Look at those things. They could explode and there'd be like gross liquid inside. Also, they look like it could be vaguely undead or something. Also, what the is up with their feet? I can't do this. Oh, I really can't do this. Fomorian is a no-go. It's a no thanks. Frost giants. Okay, let's recenter ourselves. We're back to big people. Big, powerful people. So the one thing is that I feel like their skin would be incredibly cold. Like, I feel like I would be uncomfortably cold if they were, like, they might, like, freeze my face if they poked my cheek or something. But, I'd be down to try. Maybe we could make it work. I don't know. I'd like to try. We could try, I guess. Fungi. No. Violet fungus necrohulk. Looks horrifying, terrifying, kind of cool. Still a no, but you look cooler. Okay, I'm gonna need someone to tell me how to say this. Galeb Dur? Galeb Dur? Galeb Dur? Galeb Dur? It's just like a guy. And it's guys that are throwing themselves down the side of a hill. Like, I understand the desire. You ever been just like a kid and you kind of just want to like toss yourself over the hill and like curl up in a ball and roll? Like, I understand that primal instinct. So, you know what? I think I'd want them to explain to me like the best technique to do it safely. Obviously, they are covered in rock. That makes it a bit more safe for them. But I feel like it would still hurt if they're like losing pieces of themselves, right? So I'm sure they've come up with some sort of technique I could acquire or train. Let's hang out, Let's hang out. Greetings, Monster Manual Thirst Nation. It literally took me over 2 hours of recording to get to the letter G, so I'm coming back to you on a different day, on a Sunday, on the holy day, to continue our unholy discussion. Also, to kind of get into the mood, I'm wearing the pirate shirt that I wore during a mega game. So, Renaissance Fair fans, can I get a hell yeah? Anyways, Gargoyle. There was that Gargoyles cartoon that I know had people thirsting. I never watched it, so I didn't get in, at that point in time. Gargoyles are made of stone. I feel like that would be an altogether unpleasant experience. But I think sitting, keeping watch at the top of the cathedral could let you heard some priest gossip, some bishop gossip, some cardinal gossip. So, I'm down to be friends with a gargoyle. I'm sure they have some interesting things to say. So I do want to be the gargoyle's friend. Next up, gelatinous cube. Let's be real. We can all see it, right? The things inside there are dying. They are dead or dying. They're rotting. They're being calcified. They're burning. Even though there's something intriguing about a gelatinous cube, I don't think I want it anywhere near me. It's not something I want to stick any part of myself into, or any part of it in me. Alright, so the no thanks category is getting really big. There's a lot of art. I just, it's a mess at this point. Deal with it. Yeah, no thank you, gelatinous cube. Gassed. I think we all look at this picture and we see the length of that tongue, and our minds start to wander. For me personally, I can't get over the claws and the dead nature. Like, you're hanging around skulls. You're hanging around in some tomb. You're gonna stink. There's gonna be like bone dust all around you. So I think some of you freaks would go for this, but not me. Gassed goes in no thanks. Ghost. I distinctly remember reading more than one young adult romance novel as a middle schooler / high schooler that involved ghosts. Like, it was a girl and she was falling in love with a ghost. I never understood that, I never understood that, because I feel like the point is, at the end of the book, they're gonna go away, right? They're gonna go to heaven or hell or whatever. They're gonna disappear. Or the other alternate option is, like, they take over someone's body, and that's kind of fucked up. Now, that could be fun. I think that could be fun for, like, one night. I don't want to be in a relationship with a ghost. I think just the moral implications of that are horrifying. But I could throw my morals in a trash can for an evening. For that, ghost is a hear me out. Hear me out. Gibbering mouther. I mean, with a name like that, there is a world in which if this were more appealing, it would be an instant smash. You know what I mean? But this thing is horrifying. There's just a lot of bits, a lot of eyes, a lot of teeth, a lot of goop. I don't know. I think the sensation of this I think touching this in any sort of way would be horrifying, no matter what. So it's a no for me. No. Group of Githyanki. Alright, I know you guys are hopeless nerds, and I know tons of you played Baldur's Gate 3. Lae'zel was a hottie, let's be real. She was a bad bitch. She knew what she wanted, she took what she wanted, she was confident, she was aggressive, she was, weird, but we're all weird, let's be real, okay? For me, I think these guys look like dorks. I think these guys look like losers. I think these guys look super silly. I think their noses are gross looking. I don't like their skin tone. I don't like the vibe of this weird space astral, like Doctor Strange kind of, I don't know. I can't get behind it. It's the kind of like fantasy goofiness where it's funny if I see it in game, but I cannot for a single moment contemplate or imagine myself being intimate with one of these dorks. Also, they all just look old to me. Like, even the children in Baldur's Gate 3 looked like old people. Like, I guess if I closed my eyes, Yeah, I think with these guys, it would be as mentally challenging as it was to accept a bugbear. So I will put the Githyanki into we could try, I guess. Not because I don't think there would be any physical issues, but because I might take emotional damage.
The hell did you say about Lae'zel?
Why are you interrupting? I was complimenting Lae'zel, but I said I think Githyanki looks stupid.
Oh my god. We can't, no, that's not.
This is my tier list! Alright, Githzerai. So everything I just said about the Githyanki, 100% still applicable. I think their clothes are way cooler though. If we just do a swap right now, we go, I think they made the space monk aesthetic look more interesting than space warrior wizard. Okay, I know it's astral, but it's fucking space. So I think this looks way cooler than this. Yeah, I still think they're butt ugly. So the Githzerai are still going into we could try, because even if they have a cooler fashion sense, when they take their clothes off, they look the same. You know what I mean? So Glabrizu. Glabriju? Let me know. So this thing I could almost, if I embrace my inner like monster fucker side or whatever, I could almost see it, but the two smaller vestigial arms are such a turnoff. I think if they were the same size as the other arms, like if this thing just had 4 humongo arms, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Get into it. You got the multi-limbs, you're a big hunk. But the 2 arms just make it look kind of weird. It's almost like it absorbed its twin, and the arms are just kind of hanging there. And that to me is deeply horrifying. So the Glabrizu is a no thanks. Gladiator. Okay, they picked a good image. Because for me, I am such a big fan of like aquatic subraces. I love water levels in video games. I think the ocean is great. Just, a big water obsession. So again, this whole tier list is based off of the art that we see. So right here we got, a sea elf, a blue sea elf or something. He can get it. So for Mr. Gladiator, I'm on the bed already. He like climbs out of the ocean, dripping salt water. It's kind of like a surfer vibe or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'm into it. Group of gnolls. No, right? It's a no. But these guys are definitely, I think similar to orcs and half orcs. These things are kind of like the jocks of the D&D world, right? They're getting drunk, they're fighting, they're having a laugh, they're being obnoxious, right? They're hyena laughing in the corner. But I think they would be a good friend to have, right? I think they could be protective, they could be strong. So I wouldn't be opposed to hanging out with some gnolls. I know technically they like eat corpses or something. I don't know. Like they're gross in lore, but this isn't lore. This is me making snap judgments based off of single image that I see. So yeah. Group of goblins. Same thing. I know we can see in this image there's this beautiful peaceful cow in a peaceful field, and 100% these guys are planning on how to kidnap it, kill it, and or eat it. But they're just some little guys, just some little guys. What murder? No, anyways, I'm obsessed with them. I actually, honestly, the more I look at this, I think this picture goes into obsessed with the art, just because I love the kind of contrast of this like beautiful, peaceful cow, and then we're descending into the forest here. The colors get darker, And I really, really love the shading and the brushstrokes here. So yeah, actually, I think I just talked myself into making this obsessed with the art tier. So a group of goblins goes into obsessed with the art. That just happened. You witnessed it live. Gold dragon wormling. Obsessed. Beautiful design. Beautiful colors. This little bird here, little like baby eagle or baby falcon or something that's here. I love the kind of elegant twisting here of its kind of elongated body. Obsessed. Love the wormling. Please hang out with me. Gold dragon wormling. I want to be your friend. Adult gold dragon. This art sucks. This art is so good. I really love the circular motif, how it's kind of curling around the entrance here. In the monster manual, the description for this picture said it was like guarding a lair of some sort. We see someone here with a little amulet or something holding it out to the dragon. They look elegant, they look powerful, and I love this kind of weird circular floating rock lair. This art, adult gold dragon, I am obsessed with it. Ancient gold dragon, this is so good. This is so cool. Like, you see how tiny the person is here. Like, it could be a child. If you zoom in, it could be a child. It could be a halfling, it could just be a person. The dragon looks huge, immense. There's a sense of presence here. I would probably do whatever this dragon told me to do. First of all, it could kill me immediately. I think if I said no, it could just sort of reach out and just smush me. Listen, no one's allowed to judge me, okay? I'm putting Ancient Gold Dragon in, I'm on the bed already. No one can say anything. It's not allowed. Gorgon. Obsessed with the art. I love. I don't remember what the term is. I should probably know this for work. But when there's, something here, you can see the green and it's bouncing. The color is kind of bouncing off of. I love that kind of lighting effect. So I think this art is beautiful. I also didn't realize that the Gorgon in D&D lore was a bull. I mean, I learned it about a year ago in an Octavia session that Daði ran for me. They were like, he called it a Gorgon, and I thought he was joking. Like, I thought he just made a metal bull that turns things to stone as a joke. But no, this is just how it works. But yeah, sick art. Fucking love it. A+. Gorgon goes in, obsessed with art. Goristro. I mean, look at him. I think he could have a good time. We're not going to analyze this any further, okay? We're just not. Garistro goes and hear me out. No, I will not explain. Gray ooze. Disgusting. It looks like mold. I know all the oozes are dangerous. I know they can kill you in all sorts of various horrifying ways. This one's on a skeleton, which makes me think it has to do with, like, disintegration or something. Or, like, turning you to stone or something. I don't know. I really don't know much about oozes. All I know is I don't want that. Gray ooze goes in, no thanks. You know what I mean? Green dragon wormling. This looks like a little fucker that you want on your side, right? He's got the kind of, I don't know what that is, drool? Or like acid smoke? Oh, poison, right? Green dragons are the poison ones. Yes, mostly I want to be this thing's friend because I think if I'm not, it will find me and kill me in my sleep. Yeah, this is more like a hostage situation in which I will befriend the green dragon wormling, but only to avoid death. Only to avoid being poisoned. Adult green dragon, when I saw this art, my jaw dropped. I love, first of all, that this is like a long vertical piece of artwork. I feel like a lot of the art, we get the kind of standard, like, I mean, it is a rectangle, but the proportions are slightly more balanced in terms of like, 1x2. But this is like, this canvas here, you can see it's really lengthened, so we can see the full kind of stretched out body of the dragon. And I really love the kind of sunlight playing across the lily pads, the adventurers here that are just completely unaware of the fact that they are about to be wrecked by a dragon. So murder is about to occur, but at least it's happening in a beautiful pond or river or something. And because of that, adult green dragon goes into obsessed with the art. I really, really love that piece. It's beautiful. You see, if you look at it from a distance, it looks really pretty and you don't have to think about what's about to happen. The ancient green dragon also looks sick. I believe this guy is a total scheming asshole. I believe this thing wants the world to end. You can see here, I forget what the exact description was, but it's about like, manipulating the fates of men to fulfill its plans here. Also, with this image, you can see how huge the dragon is. Like, as I'm zooming here in this picture, this is a chest. This is I think probably a longbow or something. Like you see how absolutely gigantic this dragon is. I feel like sometimes it's easy to forget how huge ancient dragons are. I think this does a really good job of setting the scale. This art is awesome. It's evocative. It really sets the mood. I feel like it's also really good at characterizing the dragon. So ancient green dragon, obsessed with the art. I think so far this is the first dragon that got 2 of its stages under obsessed with the art. We had the adult gold dragon. We had the ancient brass dragon, but neither of those had a previous stage, also in obsessed with art. So green dragon, good job. Green hags, no. Grell. I honestly, I'm gonna be real, I don't know what I'm looking at. There's clearly some sort of beak here. We've got spikes or like tentacles with spikes on the end. Some poison probably, or acid or something. Is this a brain? Oh my god, is that a brain? Weird design. No, I don't know what you would have thought this was. It's a no for the Grell. Grick. These guys must be related, right? Grell and Grick. They both have these beaks. They both have tentacles. They both look like you're finding them in caves. And they're equally horrifying. This thing is even more scary because you can see that as it's opening its beak, the like mouth split actually goes way further back. I think that's one of the easy ways you can design something to be really, really, really creepy and gross looking is like, if you have the mouth opening, but then it goes way further back than the natural way a jaw would unhinge. Horrifying, gross. No, those gotta be related. Grell and Grick. Griffin. Beautiful art. Such beautiful art. I love this art. I love the kobolds running away, trying to steal its egg. This blue one here looks super worried for good reason. This guy here is closing in on them. I love that this looks like it looks like a kind of mix of like oil paints in the background and also like colored pencil or something. So it kind of gives off like a mixed media effect, which I think is a really cool artistic effect. And I think just the coloring here, the shading, I think this is beautifully done. I think this Griffin artwork definitely belongs in Obsessed with the Art. All right, we're almost getting to the point with Obsessed with Art where I have to start doubling back, which is awesome because there's a ton of awesome art in this monster menu. Grimlock. This thing's horrifying. This art does a really good job of making me be scared. And I think that's what this thing is supposed to inspire in you. Fear. The eyes are disgusting. I can't tell if it's blind or just that's what it looks like. The artwork itself, I don't know if the artist did this on I mean, they must have, this is a professional. But like, it almost looks like the lines or the colors have been, like the layer has been duplicated and then shifted slightly. So it feels like you're looking at it and you feel kind of dizzy. Like it feels like the lines don't match up. It's a really cool effect. I think it looks disgusting, so I'm not going to put it in Obsessed with Art, but I think in terms of technique, it's pulled off really well. I don't want this thing near me, though. So Grimlock goes into the no thanks. Guardian Naga. I always thought Naga were like snake people, but then I realized there's an entire race of snake people here already, which are the Yuan-Ti. So, you learn something new. I can't get over how goofy this looks. This looks super goofy. It's like a big snake body and then just like a person's face on it. I actually, it doesn't look like human, but it's very humanoid. And I think it looks silly and goofy. And so I wouldn't be able to hold a straight face while trying to do anything. Not to mention the fact that it's just a snake. There's no limbs. There's no, like if you want to get choked to death, I guess this is what, you can do this. But I'm not interested in that. So the Guardian Naga does go into no thanks. It's also like one step away from being an animal. The only reason it's not in the bottom category is because it has a humanoid face. I don't want to be making those like, oh, it's fine because it has a face, That's creepy. Guards, this art to me is so enchanting because it looks so like mundane, but also it characterizes them really well. I really love the coloring technique here. I don't think this was done traditionally. I think this is digital art, but I think it looks really, really, really lovely. I don't think it's as like wow-inducing for me to put it into Obsessed with the Art, but I think it's really well done. I think this is also the first time I've seen like elf art where the elf just looks like a normal person. I feel like a lot of times in D&D canon, elves are like, regal and magical and like important, and I don't know, it's kind of like a presence when you're near them, but this is just a normal as elf holding up a lantern being like, what the fuck happened here? Someone dropped their beer, someone dropped their ale. I want to hang out with these guys. I think these guys have a lot of interesting stories to tell. So I definitely want to be friends with the guards. Also, if you're friends with the guards, you know, they could be helpful. They're the guards. Half dragon. This thing just looks kind of nasty to me. I think the tail is too long. I don't think it proportionally matches the rest of its body. And it looks like it's kind of mindless and raving. And one of its arms looks longer than the other. I have a lot of problems with the proportions of this that I can't get over. And therefore, it's a no. No thank you, Mr. Half Dragon. Group of harpies. I mean, look at her eyes. They're kind of pretty, right? They're kind of like sparkling. You don't need to pay attention to her sharp teeth. You don't need to pay attention to anything else that's happening. Group of harpies. Hear me out. Hellhound. It's a no, but it's doing the colored bounce lighting that I really like. And I love the kind of red color here and in the mouth. It really, like, I feel like it really gives off the impression that something inside is glowing, like illuminating from inside its body. I love the stylization here. I love the coloring here. I love the kind of texture in the background and just across the whole thing. So this art for the Hellhound, 100% going into obsessed with the art. I will we will put it below the Griffin. The Helmed Horror. I mean, you know, like, black armor is sexy. Black and red is a good color combo. Yeah, listen, what can I say? I think at this point I'm starting to get a bit predictable. If not, maybe you haven't been paying enough attention. Helmed Horror, hear me out. His Rue. Love the complementary colors. Orange and blue work. Yellow and blue, also a good combination. This thing looks gross. It looks smelly. It's eating parts, someone's claw or arm or something, on top of a bunch of bones. So I think just based on hygiene, it's a no. Also, there's like mouths coming out its side. Very gross. Boils, gross. Yeah, the more I talk, the more grossed out I am. Hezru goes in, no thanks. Hill Giants. No, like, I know this technically goes against my running theme here of like tall, good, but you know, it's like, these guys are huge, they're dumb, they eat all your food. You know, groceries are expensive. I don't need that kind of stress in my life. I'm already worried enough if I buy some yogurt, some freaking organic yogurt, that it costs more than normal. So I don't need to worry about feeding a hill giant. So no, it's a no thanks to the hill giants. They can go on top of the fire giants that I also said no to. Hippogriff. Very cool art. I don't think it's hitting my like perfect tier of going into obsessed with it, but I really, really love that the orange, the lighting here on the wings. You can see how high up this thing is, right? Like, we're in the clouds. We're above the cloud line. This is useful. It's elegant. It's a funny sounding name. I would love to be besties with a hippogriff, you know? I think being friendly with anything that you can use as a mount in terms of like getting from point A to point B is generally a good strategy. So hippogriffs, putting it right here. I want to be its friend. Hobgoblins. So I think some of you would look at this and go, okay, well, she said hear me out on bugbear. Therefore she should hear me out on hobgoblins. No, I think they look even dorkier, and I can't handle the fact that basically every single one of them here, except for the ones that are like bald or something, canonically have widow's peaks. But like, not just like naturally occurring widow's peaks, like this looks like it's been glued onto his head. It looks ridiculous. What are you doing? Go to the barber. So based on their stupid hair, it's a no thanks. Group of homunculus. Adorable, perfect, colorful, useful, friendly, intelligent.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping.
I love these dudes. I want to be all their friends. Homunculus' rule. Homunculus, I want to be friends with you. Homunculi, I guess? The caption was group of homunculus, so take it up with Watsy. Hook horror. One of the earliest things that I fought in the current ongoing campaign that is running. It was in a solo session that I had with 2 other players, so I guess a trio session. The way that we beat it was by the wizard cast grease, and then using a crowbar, we like launched it off the side of a cliff, and then we did it again. It truly was horrifying. I hate it though, it's real gross. Hook horror is an obvious no. There goes the hook horror. Horned devil. Okay, unlike the bearded devil, this guy's living up to his name, right? He's got 2 gigantic horns. He's kind of got spikes coming out of him. It looks like at the top here, at the top of his wings, like I don't know what the names of these things are, like they could be claws or whatever, but they kind of look like the horns, right? They're like reinforcing the shape language of like big curve with a turn. The staff he's holding is very cool. So in terms of like, you know, staying on brand, staying on themed, I hear Horned Devil, you show up and I see you and you look like that, A+. Still not really my type though, unfortunately. But you keep your reputation, you know? You're never going to disappoint anyone based on appearance, I think. So the Horned Devil is, unfortunately, a no. Hydra. I think this is by the same artist that did the Grell art, because it kind of has that same almost blurred effect on some of the Hydra heads here, I think, to give it kind of a sense of like motion blur. And they also did like really realistic, like well detailed shading, which I can see in this art. So technically very good art. I don't think I can put it into the obsessed category, because just in terms of like colors and visual appearance, it's not like my ideal or whatever, but this is very well done. Good job, artist. This adventure, unfortunately, is about to get fucking screwed, because you definitely cannot fight a Hydra by yourself. You know, multiple mounts can be fun, but if it's just me, you know, there's a limit, right? I don't need that much activity. I am also only one person. So, you know, if there's like 8 heads looking for something to do, I don't know what to tell you. So I think it's got to be a no for the Hydra, unfortunately. It's a no thanks. Ice Devil. What I just say about the Horned Devil? This guy, what? I hear Ice Devil, and this dude shows up? It looks like a ant or a bug or something that decided to put on some armor. Like, the spear he's holding looks icicle-ish. Like, I could look at the spear and be like, okay, I think if that hits me, it will do cold damage. It might freeze me or something, like, you know, the horse or the unfortunate person back here. But in terms of, you know, matching the expectations, I don't think it's doing a good job. I also hate mandibles, and I hate being cold. So, sorry, Ice Devil, you're a disappointment on multiple levels. Ice Devil goes to no thanks. Don't want it. Don't need a cold bug in my bed. Imp. They made the imp look way more realistic here. Okay, listen, I'm gonna be real. I think this guy looks ugly as fuck. I wouldn't want him as my minion. I wouldn't want him as my, like, warlock familiar. I wouldn't want him near me or around me. I think he looks gross and creepy. Like, he has, like, this weird old man face on a naked, small, young man's body. And the feet are freaking me out. All of this freaks me out. And, you know, I'm sorry, but this doesn't even go into the friends category. This is just the... Imp is just a no thanks. Sorry, Imp. Incubus! How about this incubus? Obviously, it's a hell yeah. Come on. It's an incubus. Like, what more do you want from me? I'm on the bed. Steal my dreams. Steal my soul. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Intellect Devourer. Several years ago, I thought these things were horrifying. Then Baldur's Gate 3 came out. They were still horrifying, but I wasn't expecting to hear, like, a kind of creepy, childish voice coming out of there that almost made me want to keep it as a pet, you know? And at one point you can like have from the initial ship crash or something, like on there, you can have an Intellect Devourer like follow you around. So I think I'd rather it be my friend. I'm using the same logic that I had with the green dragon wormling, in that I would rather be its friend and hope that it attacks something else, because if I'm not its friend and it considers me a threat, or some mind flayer orders it to attack me, I will die. So Intellect Devourer, it goes on the end here. I want to be its friend for safety reasons. Invisible Stalker. It has Stalker in its name. Okay? Ladies, stay safe. Don't give your information out to random invisible spirits. But I think if you could get over the creepoid factor of it being called Stalker, I think, hear me out, I think this could be on the same level as the Air Elemental. I think if I gave the Air Elemental a chance, I need to give it to the Invisible Stalker. Okay? Because they look like they're both made out of air and wind, so I think you could still have that same sensory, out-of-body experience, you know? Okay? And that's that. Iron Golem. Looking at this kind of just reminds me of like an 80s comic villain. Like, not anyone in particular. I couldn't give you like a Marvel name or something. But this guy just looks like an evil minion, or like he would have evil minions, and I can't deal with that kind of like dorkitude in my life. So for the same reason that I felt like the Gith Yankee looked too silly or too dorky or like almost too genre, it's not going to work out with the Iron Golem. So the Iron Golem is going to go in no thanks. Jackalware. This, if I said yes to this, it would be too close to the furry line. Also, the Jackalware can just be a jackal. Like, just a straight up jackal. It's not like a were. It's not just the were form, it's also the animal form. I think because of that, it would freak me out too much to know that that is also one of their true forms. So the Jackalware goes into, this is literally a plant animal object. Because I simply would not be able to get that out of my head. Kenku. Honestly, I think this might follow the same reasoning as I have with Jackalwares. They just look too much like birds. They're not humanoid people with somewhat birdish features. It's just a bird that's big. It's just a big bird. It's big bird. No. I don't need that. I don't need that and I don't want that. Knights. Hell yeah. This hat looks kind of like a Loki hat, but I'm digging it. Also, knights means they have honor to protect. They're probably well paid or at least well known. They could get you into a club. They could get you into a nice restaurant. Hell yeah. It's not like the sexiest art that I've ever seen in my life. So it's not going up top. But hell yeah, knights, I'm down. You know? Let's have a fun night or two. Kobolds. These to me are simply friend-shaped. They are friend-shaped. They are meant for friendship. I could never and will never and have never seen them in a sexual light. These guys are either to kill or to befriend. That is their only purpose. Also, Daði loves these, so if I didn't put kobolds in I want to be its friend, he might break up with me. So obviously I'm going to be friends with the kobolds. Kraken! By the way, I don't know how many of you guys have been keeping track of this. There are people flying around. They're being thrown. They're being knocked aside. There are so many of these kind of Wilhelm scream guys in so much of the monster manual art. Like, for any of the kind of big creatures, keep your eyes peeled. These guys are everywhere. That being said, this thing is gross. No thanks, Kraken. Kuatoa. Okay, I'm following the order of the monster manual. Archpriest. I am obsessed with this art style, and I am obsessed with this picture. First of all, I love how, like, the further away the Kuatoa get, like, you know, obviously with perspective, the detail gets lessened out, and I love the kind of shortcuts that the artist took to indicate that they're further back. I love this kind of, like, circular highlights. I assume that the scales of Kuatoa, so it's kind of reinforcing the circular shape, that they have scales. I love this art style. It's heavily stylized. The shading is heavily stylized, but I love it. I love the colors chosen. I love this freaking giant helmet on a crab or something. I love the kind of like weird soulless Kuto in the background. I love this guy. I love this. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop rambling and put Kuatoa Archpriest in. Obsessed with the art. It's so good. It's so good. Kuatoa. Everything that I said before applies to this in terms of art style. I think obviously this is showing a specific Kuatoa, whereas this was more of kind of a scene, an illustration of a scene. This one I'm not as obsessed with. I'm not going to throw it into obsessed with the art, but I really love the shading. I love the art style. I love the technique. A+ to the artist that was responsible for the Kuatoa. Now, these things are fish people. I did say previously I love the water, and that, you know, gives water-based races or water-related monsters a plus in my book. But this thing is a person with a fish head on it. It's just a humanoid with a giant fish head. I'm almost tempted to put it into, this is literally an animal, but I know you guys would all come for me. So instead, it's going into no thanks. Sorry, Kuatoa. You were well drawn, though. This Kuatoa art, I love it. I love it. This is more of an illustration. I love the giant moon in the background. I love you can see the Kuatoa coming out of the ocean. This weird bone weapon with a claw on it. This weird bone whip. I still don't think I'm going to put this in obsessed with the art. But it's just, again, it's more of the same. Great art. Weird looking fish guys. It's a no thanks, but again, fantastic job. No thank you, fish people. Lamia. For the longest time, I thought Lamias were snake women. Like snake centaurs. Human woman on top, snake body on bottom. I'm gonna Google it. Lamia. Child-eating monster. Okay, thank you, internet. Lamia, snake woman. D&D has taken Lamia to mean something else. I think it's a cool interpretation. I really like their clothing style here. I'm really a big sucker for like the kind of strappy tops in fantasy. Like here it's like the two kind of over the boobs, and over here it's been wrapped around a bit more around her chest. I really like the kind of desert or like monk, I don't know, kind of less clothes, more body exposure aesthetic. Zoomy. So with the Lamias, I do have the same problem as I do with the centaurs. Like, it's an animal body on bottom, which is the part that I would be interacting with, and I have no interest in that. But these guys look cool and powerful. Maybe they're evil in canon, but I want to hang out with these guys. Maybe they'd give me a ride on like their backs. You know, it would be a different experience than riding on a horse, because this is like a lion. I'm pretty sure it's like a lion bottom half. Alright, for the first time in this video, we are doubling over on the I want to be its friend category with the Lamias. I think I'm actually gonna make it bigger so it's really clear where I have to put the picture. So I want to be a Lamia friend. I'm not even gonna talk about this one. Okay, it's Swarm of Larvae. No. Lemure. This is definitely the Grell artist. They got the Grell artist to do all these horrifying things. Just like the larva, there's not much to talk about. These things are disgusting. It's a no. Good job on making them look horrifying. Liches. I think this is the first time I've seen a lady lich be used as like the example art. Because I feel like a lot of the art, just if I go off the top of my head, I'm just thinking of a Sararac or like randomly male looking lich. You know, who knows? Maybe this is just a guy with long hair or something, you know. The gender, it's a lich. It's dead. I don't care about the gender. It's not getting in bed with me. It's a no thanks. Lizard folk. Just like I said, I wasn't a furry. I'm not a scaly either. It's a no. Mages. I don't know why they picked this for the mage picture. I think these are red wizards. I don't know that much about them, but I know they're like evil wizards that wear red. But based on this picture, they all look horrifying and gross. I'm not into the bald aesthetic. We've already been over this. This one looks absolutely crazy. Wide open eyes. Totally unhinged. They all look confused and worried. So, sorry, but if we're just using the photo evidence provided to me, which is the point of this video, all of mages in D&D existence get a pass from me. Sorry, guys. Magmen. These look like fun little fuckers. I want to run around with them. I want to watch them blow stuff up. I want to watch them set things on fire. Simple pleasure. Let's be friends with Magmen. And they go next to the Lamia, because we're doubling back on this category. Mains? Horrifying, gross, disgusting. A short king, but no. They make me feel viscerally uncomfortable. And I don't think I need to justify that, because you all have eyes. Manticore. I have heard this word thrown around for a long time. Like, I knew it was a fictional monster, but I'm gonna be honest, if you had asked me to describe what a manticore looks like, I could not have answered. This to me looks like the face right here with the teeth. It looks like something from Where the Wild Things Are. Like, almost storybook-esque. And because of that association, not to mention the fact that this is butt ugly, goes into no thanks. Mareed. This guy kind of crosses the line for me in terms of looking too much like a fish. They do have, you know, hands and legs. The webbing doesn't bother me, but it's just the head looks too alien, too fish-like. I think it's more that there's a strong kind of Kuo-toa association because of like the kind of bulbous head and the big mouth. And I don't like that. So unfortunately the Mareed goes into no thanks. We're about to start looping back on no thanks. I don't know how many layers we are on that if someone's counting. Medusa. I mean, look at these guys. They are posing. Look at the arched back here, the kind of laid back stance of this guy over here. They want you to look, right? They want you to look so they can turn you into stone. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I could avoid looking, because there's a lot to look at. I mean, you saw their bodies, right? You saw them. We could try, I guess, because I would literally be fighting for my life, right? Like, if I open my eyes at the wrong moment, I have simply turned to stone. It's a risk I'm willing to take. Mephit. I think this is a mud mephit, and I remember in Baldur's Gate 3, if you, like, basically go kind of towards the water near the witch's cabin, there was a mud mephit encounter that went terribly for me. I had to repeat that fight, like, 4 or 5 times because I just kept getting screwed. So these guys could be assholes. But I think, once again, even if it's evil to other people, it could be useful or helpful to me. I'm gonna do my darndest to befriend the Mephits. They'll hang out next to the Magmans. Merfolk. Beautiful. Love them. They're excited to be in a water world. Who wouldn't be, honestly? It's kind of like, I mean, they kind of get to fly. Like, floating and swimming is the closest we as people will ever get to flying. They're colorful, they're vaguely like fish, but they're like fish in a way that I can get over. Don't ask me how it works, it just does. Merfolk, yeah, I'm down. Marrow. Listen, Marrow are just like emo merfolk, right? They're like evil barbarian merfolk, right? Hear me out. Mezzoloth? I think I've said this before, but once we get into the bug region, the like carapace, the hard skin, the mandibles, I'm out. It's just, I clock out once we get too close to bugs. So the Mezzoloth will, unfortunately, have to leave us right there. And I think we're going to start doubling back at this point. Ugly. Mimic. classic D&D enemy. This art to me looks like it's been done to try to mimic like older art styles from previous editions, and I think it's really, really well done. I think the lighting is perfect. I love the texture along the walls here. The proportions of the adventurer here, it just kind of makes me think of older art, and I think it's just really, really charming, really well done. Mind Flayer. We all know Mind Flayers at this point, either by playing D&D or playing Baldur's Gate. I just want to clarify, I was not, am not, and never will be an Emperor fucker. To the trash with you, Mind Flayers. No thanks. Minotaur. This is just beautiful art. Keep coming back to it, the bouncing light, the fact that this is a scene, right? This image is telling a story. It's not just a picture of a Minotaur. This woman has some tattoos along her arms, holding a spear, running away. This bundle here, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be basically look like, not prehistoric, but like an old medieval bag, or like if she's carrying like a person. I don't know. To me, it honestly looks like a child's body or something, but I don't know if that's too morbid. I love this picture. Good technique, good texture, good colors, good story. Obsessed with the art. We are also reaching the point where soon I'll have to start doubling back on obsessed with the art. The Modrons. There is not a single sexual thing about them. Like, they got a mouth, I guess, if you think about that, but you're a freak if you think about them like that. They just have an eye and a mouth and metal limbs, and I honestly think these look like nightmarish creatures. I only recently learned of these guys' existence in D&D lore, and I don't want them near me because it's like, from what I have heard about them, it's just a huge hassle when they show up. So it's a no thanks to the Modrons. And I'm just going to tell you now, I don't need to justify myself. It's a no thanks for all the Modron subcategories. Modron Duodrone? No. Modron Tridrone? No. Modron Quadrone? No. And of course we can't forget the Modron Pentadrone, which is a big, fat, surprising no. These things are a horrifying collection of metal and skin, and I don't know why God thought it was okay to show me this. Mummy. Old, wet, dead. I have very clearly established my feelings on the dead. No thank you. Mummy Lord. While the drip is impeccable, also hopping into no thanks. But I can make his picture slightly bigger to show his power. A group of myconids. These things are so plant adjacent to me. Like, I don't even know if they're humanoids in the monster manual. They're colorful and pretty. Also, this picture in particular, I can't tell if I'm looking at these guys die or be born. You know, there's no, I don't think anyone should look at this picture and think sexy. If you do, there's something wrong with you. I really did love becoming their friend, though, in Baldur's Gate, and I would like to continue that habit. So I am going to put the myconids into I want to be its friend. Nalfeshnee, I dig in terms of design. I love the kind of like curved fangs, like going up and down. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's something that's present in like Southeast Asian mythology or something. I don't know, maybe Indonesia. I don't fucking know. It looks cool. It looks dope. I'm glad that they're incorporating it into more monster designs. I'm still not gonna fuck it though. So, Nalfeshnee, no thanks. Night hags. I'm not gonna lie, I think so far these are the best looking hags we've seen, just because all the hags so far have looked terrible in terms of like appearance. Art good, sexy bad. These guys still don't even get up onto the sexy meter for me. It's gonna be a no. I do like the lighting though. I like how glowy they made the bag. I'm sorry to whoever sad humans' dreams are being stolen or something. But yeah, no thanks, night hags. Nightmares. This art is sick. I love the fire effect. I love how I love looking at the sky above them. It's almost as if like someone's dragged like kind of a square like piece of cardboard or something through the paint, or like the brush is square shaped. That's probably more likely. The brush is square shaped so that it looks like kind of like motion blur lines or like movement lines. So it really feels to me like these nightmares are running at super, super fast speed. So I really love the technique here. I love the fire colors here. I love how scary they look. Obsessed with the art. Nobles. They got the money. They got the power. They got the influence. They got the fashion. Now, I'm not into Dragonborn. Sorry. It's on the scaly side. If you manage to somehow catch one of these people's attention, they're gonna treat you right. I'm down for the nobles. I can be I'm happy to be treated well for a night or two. Nothic. This art is crazy. This art is so good. This art is so good. The green lighting behind, reflecting off the spikes here, or bouncing off the spikes. The way the eye, I really like how this eye is done, and the weird kind of like triangular line pupil thing over here. I love the colors used. I love the perspective. It's super creepy. Obsessed with the art. I'm tired of this. Why did I commit to this? The Jackalware. I'm gonna be real, it kind of reminds me of like a deranged Ninja Turtle, because this vaguely looks like a shell and its body is green. I know it makes basically 0 sense, but that's the vibe I got, and that's not anything I would like to engage with. So Jackalware, you are going to go into no thanks. It's also vaguely bug-like. Ochre Jelly. I feel the same way about the jelly as I do about all the other oozes. It's not practical, it's dangerous, and they're gross. No thanks. Ogres. Classic D&D enemy. Don't know how many times I've fought them. In fact, I think the last session I had, we literally fought an undead ogre. Gross looking, big lunk heads. I don't think I need that in my life. Ogres go into no thanks. Oni. So, honestly, the only thing stopping this thing from being like a hell yeah for me is the creepy eye and the like almost Jokerish smile. You know, if I cover up the head from bottom down, I'm like, yeah, you know, I dig the white hair. And it's not a situation in which I'd be willing to just close my eyes, because that feels vaguely insulting. So the Oni is a no thanks. Otiug. This art is sick in both ways, you know? In Kingmaker, our long-term campaign, we are aware of an Otiug relatively close to us. It's literally living in a giant pile of poop, and there's like there's a hobgoblin and some goblins and someone basically like keeping it stockpiled with poop. It's a contained threat for now, but I wouldn't doubt if sometime in the future we're going to go take care of it. So immediately on all hygiene fronts, it fails, and I don't want to touch it or see it really or breathe it, because I think it's just going to be a bad experience through every single possible sense. And so for that, the Otiug is a no thanks. Owlbear! We recently killed an owlbear, and my character skinned it, and we are looking for a place to sell its hide because it's very valuable. It could definitely still rip my head off. I know the owlbear cub in Baldur's Gate 3 was very cute, but the owlbear itself is just a combination of two animals, and you know where that goes, baby. This is literally a plant/animal/object. Pegasus. This is one of the reasons I wanted to make this video. No, not for weird, sexy reasons, but because this art is beautiful. Because I knew from the beginning, when making this video, I needed to have a category that was exclusively for art is fantastic. Beautiful art. Look at this guy. There's sparkles when it's flying, the tail is clouds, the mane is turning into clouds, the wings are turning into clouds, it's soaring below the clouds. I like the clouds. And this is a beautiful, goofy, silly piece of art, and I would love to have it in a frame somewhere. Obsessed with the art, and I think we are going to start doubling back. Performers! These guys know what they're doing. They love attention. These are theater kids. They couldn't get into the theater, so they decided to band together and make their own theater troupe. Based on that, it's automatically going to knock them down a notch because, listen, theater kids, I love you, but sometimes you're a lot. You're a lot. But you know, this guy looks hot. His outfit's goofy. But you know, all these are good-looking people. All these are good-looking people. So there's not a lot you need to convince me to do. So you know, yeah, I'm down with the performance. Periton. This thing is kind of just a bird. It just, to me, it looks like a bird. Okay, it has teeth. I know birds don't have teeth. Okay, clearly it's not just a bird. But it's 95% bird with some antlers and like some animal thing on the front. So Periton, goodbye. Phase spider, animal. I know it has phase powers. This is an animal. Or a bug. Arachnid, whatever the fuck a spider is. Piercer. Interesting concept. I think in terms of execution and logistic, I don't know if it would work. I don't know if it would work. And I don't know if I would want it to work. Piercer, I'm sorry, but you're going into no thanks. And I gotta shrink the Piercer picture because it's too tall. Pirates. I did wear my pirate shirt. Vaguely pirate shirt. Okay, I know like conceptually pirates are sexy, but if we think about it from a practical standpoint, they're at sea all the time and probably very stinky. Yeah, honestly, the first thing I think about pirates, or like when I see them and I think about them implemented practically, I I just think about hygiene. Not to mention that I think all of the pirates here are but ugly. Because this is about the art, it's a pass. I also don't know if I would want to be friends with a pirate, because they would rob me. Sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I'd be dunking on the pirates so hard, but it's a no thanks for the pirates. It's just a no. Pit Fiend. I know Daði thinks this art is a technical upgrade, but it's not as evocative as some other arts, and I would agree. I think it does its job, it's neutral, it's fine. But I don't want to settle for something that is just fine. I have standards to uphold. So the Pit Fiend is gonna go next to the pirates. Pixies. Hell yeah. These guys are gorgeous. They're magical. They're tricksy. They're fun. This art is beautiful. I love the fairy tale aesthetic, like the fairy tale romance of like shrinking down and running away with like a little pixie prince or a pixie princess. So for my child heart, yeah, I'm down for the pixies. I would run away with a pixie. Planetar. See, I bet a lot of you are looking at me, and if you have watched most of this video up until now, you would think I would put this in immediate smash. And you're almost not wrong. Like, I looked at it and went, good body, well-built body, they're green or whatever. I could put it in smash. But in terms of aesthetics, I'm not into it, right? I love the outfit, I love the wings. I like the floaty wings, I like the outfit. But it's just the kind of neutral expression. The weird flame mohawk. I gotta say the green body. The green body I don't like. Don't get me wrong. They're in good shape. It's going to be a yes, right? It's just not the perfect yes. The Planetar isn't I'm on the bed already. Like, I'm down for the Planetar. It's gonna work with the Planetar. But like, the Planetar isn't the Deva, Pseudo Dragon! He's just a little guy. He's just a little dude. I want to carry him around in my backpack. I want to summon him. I want him to be my familiar. I want to be his friend. Purple Worm. I think it could never work. I don't think it could ever work. I don't think it could work, but this art is very cool and very evocative. I don't think it's going to make it to obsessed with, but I really love that we can tell this adventurer is just screwed. They're just screwed. They're about to be eaten. Good luck in the purple worm's stomach. I think the purple worm is even animal adjacent enough that I'm just going to put it into the animal category. It's just a worm that grew spikes. I'm not going to fuck a worm. Quaggoth. I'm not really big into the kind of werewolf fantasy, wolf adjacent fantasy. So this is definitely someone's hunk. It's just not my hunk. So the Quaggoth is a no thanks. Quasit. It's just little guy. All the little guys. I need to be friends with every little guy that we encounter. I think it's beneficial for my mental health if I befriend every little guy. Rakshasha. This art is sick. The backwards hand thing is a very bizarre design trait. I remember reading about these for the first time. I didn't understand it. I still don't understand why, that was the weird thing they picked. But at the same time, it is such a unique identifier, right? If you think about, we gotta look out for the guy with backwards hands. You're like, what the heck? But then if you just look down and you see someone with backwards hands, you're like, okay, there's no way this could be anything else. You know what I mean? This is really, really good art. I can't put it in obsessed because I'm not obsessed. It's just really well done. I think, though, I am going to put the Rakshasha is I want to be its friend based on the same self-preservation desire that I've been running several of them on, right? If a Rakshasha doesn't want to kill me, I'm okay. Red Dragon Wormling. I don't know. He looks like he's just hanging out kind of by a volcano by himself, far away. Well, okay, obviously not by himself. There's some flying things behind him. But I'm okay if the Wormling is just doing its thing far away from me. Oh yeah, so it's a no thanks. Oh my god. It's a no thanks for the red wormling. We're doubling back. I'm not doing that again. Adult red dragon. Looks terrifying. It's breathing fire. It's evil. I think it's just gonna kill me. It's just gonna tear me apart. In fact, it probably wouldn't waste its energy tearing me apart. It's just gonna breathe flame on me. I don't need to test its patience. I could just be away from it. I can just not be deaded. Ancient Red Dragon. This is actually, I think, one of my least favorite dragon arts, just because look at how thick the neck is. I think it looks goofy. I think it looks like it's roided up. Okay, all these people are obviously going to die. Its mouth is lighting up. It's about to breathe fire on all of them. I think the big, thick neck looks stupid. Sue me. No thank you, Ancient Red Dragon. Every iteration of you is a no thank you. I think that's the first for a dragon. I think every single dragon so far, I've at least put one of them in a different category than the rest of it. It's a shame. Remoraz. It's bug adjacent, so we all know what that means. It's just a weird, gross ice bug, so no thank you. Group of Revenants. This corpse tower is horrifying, and this thing is undead, so we don't need to speak much more of it. Goodbye, Revenant. Haunting Revenant. This is a house. This is literally a house that's coming alive. I'm classifying it as an object. A house is an object. Rock. This is just a big bird. Animal. Roper. You can be into this if you want. I'm not. There's so many things about this that I don't like. There's so many things. Roper, no roping. Roper, no roping. Rust monster. Very cool concept for a monster. I haven't heard that much about it. I don't think I've ever fought one, but I really like this art. We get to see its effects on the shield here and the sword here. This looks golden. It's still a gross little bug though. It's called a monster, but it's a bug. We all know that's a bug. Sahuagin. If I hear me outed the marrow, then we know where the Sahuagin are going, right? Right next to the marrow. Salamanders. This art, crazy. It goes so hard. Obsessed with the colors, obsessed with this like frill shape. I don't really know what's happening. I think it's like on fire, or there's like a million other salamanders. This looks so cool. It's action filled. Lovely art. Salamanders, I'm putting under the Pegasus. Oh, I think my chair's blocking this slightly. There we go. Salamanders. Satyrs. I'm gonna be real. The only thing stopping them from being a yes is their furry goat legs. I cannot get with the, like, bottom part being an animal. The fur, something about the fur freaks me out. I would love to jam with these people though. So I am going to befriend the satyrs. Scarecrow. I'm gonna be real, I didn't know this was an enemy. Maybe if you're into like the Jack Skellington type Nightmare Before Christmas thing, but I have never seen that movie, and this woman looks terrified. So it's a no thanks for me, the Scarecrow. Scouts. I believe this illustration is made by the same people that did the guards illustration, but I've realized I have been breaking my own rules. If we go look at the tier list, I was saying I would befriend the guards because they weren't necessarily like my type based on the artwork. But the nobles weren't really my type either, but I put them as yeah, I'm down. So I am changing. I'm putting the guards up to yeah, I'm down, because I'm sure we could find guards that I like. You know, it's not that hard. And through that same reasoning with these guys, I'm also going to be putting the scouts, yeah, I'm down, because like these are all athletic people that take care of themselves and are responsible. And I'm sure I could walk into a room and point and go, you, you know, maybe not that many. But you know, there's lots of scouts, there's lots of people, there's people all over. Okay, come on. I put all of commoners in there, so why can't I put scouts or guards? Okay? I should be maintaining my rules. Shadow. So for a moment, I was thinking I could place them and hear me out, but these are being so explicitly creepy and scary that I'm putting them down to no. Shadow Demon. This one's definitely living up to his name. Look at that little arch in that back. Look at this diva with the pink light. Not my type, but I see what it's doing. No thanks, Shadow Demon, but I want you to keep doing what you're doing. Shadow Dragon. This art is beautiful. I love the curling, puffy, blue-tinged smoke. I love these kind of smoke cultists, followers, minion, whatever the heck. I love the kind of storybook, like very stylized art here. This is a beautiful picture. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture. Love, 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 love. Love the art. So Shadow Dragon is going to be the first picture that we double back on with the obsessed with the art category. Shambling Mound. This is plant adjacent. It does have eyes and limbs though, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. I wouldn't know where to look or what to do or where to put my hands, you know? Like, so it's a pass on the Shambling Mound. Shield Guardian. I'm not gonna lie, I think the mechanic here is cuter than the Guardian itself. I do love the design of the Shield Guardians though. I love the pink light. I love the kind of big, clunky, like, outer limbs, and then you see the kind of inner arm and upper thigh area. These things are super useful. Would love to have a Shield Guardian. So I definitely want to befriend the Shield Guardian. It's going next to the Rakshasha. Silver Dragon Wormling. I'm not gonna lie, this thing looks kind of alien to me. Like, it's the eye. Something about the eye kind of freaks me out. We see a little rabbit, a little bunny rabbit here that is intrigued by this, but something about it, I don't know. I'm not as into it. So I think this is the first metal wormling that is going into the no thanks category. Adult silver dragon clearly enjoys the company of others. I'm not that into the design though. This kind of makes me think of a seahorse, like the thing arching back that seahorses have. And also just looks really old. Like clearly it's a very sociable creature. So I think based on that, I could be friends with it. You know, I'm down to befriend a dragon that wants to befriend other people. But I'm not that impressed by its design or the artwork itself. Ancient silver dragon, things are different. It definitely seems to have like kind of grown into this crest, and I like that it's taking a more active approach to the world. Clearly, I mean, these gnolls are supposed to be evil. It's fighting them. I also like that it's being kind of followed by this almost fanfare of white birds. Gives this kind of regal presence. Very cool. Yes, I would like to befriend you, silver dragon. Group of skeletons. No, they're dead. They're skeletons. It's a pass on the skeletons. Slot. All right, we are back. This is take 3. You know, the alphabet is really long, okay? There's a lot of monsters. There's a lot of words. All right, so immediate danger points are the claws, right? The claws on the fingers. I think that would make everything difficult. Not to mention that the blue slot has a Wolverine thing going on, right? Where it has these it has these 2 little claws jutting out of the hand. And I think just logistically, that would make everything way harder than it needs to be. I also don't like how wide their mouths are. They got like the weird squished head thing looking. Also, I have residual trauma because Slod were the first boss fight that I ever did in Orthon, Daði's homebrew world. So it's gonna be a no from me, babes. It's gonna be a no. I can't be who I wanna be and sexy. Okay, I'm actually gonna move out all the no thanks pictures because they're just getting in the way. I have to make space for new no thanks. You know what I mean? For new rejections. I'm just putting them off to the side. That way we still have a record of it. It's not gone. So Slod, no thanks. Death Slod. These are cooler. These are fiercer. These look more badass. I do notice though the same difficulty here with the claws poking out. In fact, there's more spikes on all of them. They are simply more of everything that they are, or that the other ones are. So no. Death Slot, it's a no thanks. Solar. I mean, do you see those abs? They're like cut from steel. Listen, I'm a basic bitch. I love an angel theme. I love wings. I love a celestial. I love a good boy. Of course, for the Solar, I am on the bed already. Spectator. This guy is adorable. I don't know about their lore. I just know they kind of look like smaller beholders. But look at this guy. He's afraid. He's hiding. He's hiding from us. He's hiding from adventurers that are gonna find him and kill him. He's just protecting his loot. So the Spectator is gonna go here in the friend category. In the I want to be its friend category. Spectre. Once again, sorry. These are undead, first of all. And even though I did, you know, give the ghosts a chance, these are dead skeleton zombie looking ghosts. So specters go into no thanks. Sphinx of Wonder. Look at these guys. I feel like they definitely, for this art, they consulted not a furry artist, but like those artists that draw like adoptable cats and other animals. If you're not aware of what adoptables are, basically it was a classic thing to happen on DeviantArt for any of my DeviantArt senior citizens. People would have like a character design, basically like, you know, they would draw the outline of a cat or a dog or you know, something. And they would give them all these like complex, colorful patterns. And they would give maybe like 5 variations. So, that, you know, if we take this crouching sphinx, for example, all the sphinxes would be in this pose and look like this. They would just have different, you know, colored skin, different colored hair, maybe some hair variations or whatever. And these were super popular. Adoptables were the rage. Anyways. This is a sphinx, but I'm obsessed with this art. It is so colorful. It is so fun. Look at this little one here in the back that's like chasing this bee. They're just like studying scrolls in this library or something. I really, really love how colorful it is. I really love this image. It really feels like a storybook illustration to me. And for that reason, I do want to add it to I want to be its friend. But I think I'm going to do the same thing for the friend category. I'm going to, I'm going to kind of just push these out to the side because I'm running out of space. face. Probably should have done this last time, but, you know. This is why we take breaks. To think and have better ideas than past us. So Sphinx of Wonder obviously goes into the friend category. Sphinx of Secrets. I love this art for the same reason that I love Sphinx of Wonder. You know, it's like, it's kind of a, in that same, it's another subcategory of Sphinxes. Really cool art. Love the colors. You can obviously see here that this Sphinx is older. These guys look more like, you know, smaller cats, cubs. I don't know what the correct term is. This one is older, wiser. It's like, okay, guys, come on. Okay? You guys can be full of wonder. You guys can read this, but I'm the Sphinx of Secrets. Okay? I'm keeping this shit locked down. Stay away. Don't come for my knowledge. Don't come for my treasure. You know, this is more dragon-esque. Obviously, that still means I want to be its friend. Because it's pretty and it's like a big cat. It's a big lion with wings. I love it. Sphinx of Lore. Old man cat. This is going to come across as ageist, but this guy looks like he has no tolerance for me. Look, his claws are out. His claws are out. He's got an old man beard. He's probably sick of everyone's shit. He's sick of everyone that rolls up and is like, can you tell me how to solve this puzzle so I can be rich and buy my mom a house? You know, I don't know. I don't actually know what the heck Sphinxes do. But in my mind, this is what they do, right? You know, like, I tell you 3 sentences. One is false, one is true. There's a riddle, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, old man cat. I think I'm just gonna leave him alone, you know? Old man, Sphinx of Lore. You'll go and no thanks, okay? You can hang out there and stay unbothered. Sphinx of Valor. This guy's here to fight. He's roaring. He's letting you know, I am that Sphinx. I am powerful. Look at this one's thick. Look at the muscles on this Sphinx, man. I mean, yeah, no. You know, it's a lion with wings. That goes into the animal category, and I refuse to go back on my word for that. I do love, like, whether these are, like, bells or... Honestly, they kind of look like bullets, but I love this little kind of jingling, dangling metal bits here. Cool art. I love the texture here on the colors. But it is a roaring lion, so I wanted to stand maybe 500 feet away from me at the very least. So Sphinx of Valor goes into no thanks. I don't think it needs me to be its friend, you know. Spies! Yeah. Yeah? Honeypot? Sign me up. Give me a good time, I will give you all the information I have. I am the easiest target. I'm at a ball, you know, and you're like, okay, we gotta go talk to AB because she knows where we find the doohickey MacGuffin. I will tell you anything. If you roll up looking like this, I will tell you anything. Spine Devil. Another devil that knows what the heck they're talking about. Covered in spines. Throwing spines. Holding a trident that is spiny. A+ for on theme. But I noticed it doesn't have any lips, which would make things difficult. Also, being covered in spines, once again, makes the act painful. Makes everything more challenging than it needs to be. Spine Devil is a no thanks. You know, I'm sorry to be on the negative streak, but this is just how it is. Spirit Naga. So this image makes me feel the same way that the other Naga picture does, where it's like a big snake. Obviously this one is like black and purple, which, you know, evil, it's spirit. But it still just comes across as kind of goofy. To be fair, this one looks less like a human face was just like slapped on there. But I could not take it seriously. Spirit Naga, stay away before I laugh in your face. Sprites! Yeah. You know, I said yes to pixies. I gotta say yes to sprites. Honestly, these are cooler to me. These are cuter to me because they are holding weapons. They're dressed up. You know, I love his little, like, knight outfit going on here. I love her holding the bow. She's ready to shoot me at any point. These guys are cuties. These guys are capable. We're gonna have a magic fun time, you know? Sprites going, yeah, I'm down. Sturges! These guys look really gross, and I know they suck blood. But they're not sucking blood in a sexy vampire way. They're just sucking blood in a, like, painful, gross way, and they have little hooks on them. They're like leech bats, and I don't want that. Sturges, no thanks. Stone Giants. I am not a bald fan. I am not a fan of the bald look. I'm not into Paleolithic fashion, okay? And yes, big people, fun. Large, tall people, fun. But the aesthetic is really what's driving me off here. And unfortunately, if, you know, the appearance isn't enough to overcome the aesthetic, which already they're here on the back foot, it's not happening. It's a no to the stone giants. Stone golems. Look at the pecs on this guy. So someone lovingly hand carved those pecs. Some designer was like, yes, I need them to wear loincloth. I need them to have buff arms. And I need them to have chiseled pecs. I gotta honor the vision. Hear me out. Storm giant. This is what I'm talking about. Ocean themed big lady. And there's a man also, I guess. But the lightning, you know, we could be in for a shocking time, if you know what I mean. Storm giants, I'm down. There's no excuse needed, okay? Hit me up. Succubus. You all know, you clicked on this video. You know what the answer to this is. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring us back for a moment. Just zoom in on all the good qualities here, you know? A swarm of ravens. Animal. Tarrasque. I think. You know, the Tarrasque is like the end-all, be-all of the monster manual, right? This is like the creature. When this shows up, the world is ending. You are dying. I think we could try, I guess, you know, as a point of reverence. This is like, I need to put it up at a certain level out of respect for the Tarrasques, of course, whatever they decree. Thrycreen. I've said this before, I'm not into the bug vibe. Multiple arms are cool. Multiple arms are functional. Multiple arms are fun. But you guys got bug faces and you're covered in shell. You know, be proud of who you are. But I'm not interested. Tufts. Yeah. Come on, it's in the name. They're canonically strong. Hell yeah, I'm down. Treant. They are sapient. You know, they're aware. But they are trees with faces on them. That is too close to a plant. You know, treants are too wise. They're too old. I simply could not. I wouldn't allow them to do that. Troglodyte. I didn't know this was an animal. I just knew it was like an insult, you know. You troglodyte. I didn't know it was an actual thing. It looks like a little rock, gross gremlin thing. I don't like the weird drippies under the chin. No thank you, troglodyte. Troll. Horrifying. Disgusting. Very well illustrated. Get it away from me. The troll should stay under its bridge. T-Rex. No. Ultroloth. Okay, I'm gonna give it points here for fashion. Love the whip showing us an alternate reality. Love the cape showing us a galaxy behind it. I take issue with the lack of mouth. Also, it does make me think of like a Martian or like stereotypical alien. And I think if I was to be looking at it, I just would be thinking of like pop culture the whole time. I gotta keep my mind in the game, and I don't think I can do that. I do appreciate his little teeth embellishments though, you know. Good fashion, still a no. Umber Hulk. Listen, it's a bug. It's a big bug, so we already know it's gonna be no. But I appreciate the design. It makes me think of like 80s or 90s like JRPG monster design. And that's fun. Anyways, unicorn. Technically animal. Vampire and familiar. So in this very specific case, it's actually a no. Like, this vampire is just creepy to me. He's just like, give me some blood, yeah. The familiar is not having a good time at all. And you know, I gotta make sure everything's consensual. And because I don't know the surrounding situation of this, it's an automatic stop. It's an automatic no. I think you gotta have a basic amount of respect for your partner. Vampire spawn. I am into this jewelry, okay? I'm into whatever the fashion is happening here. You know, the little tasteful little armband connecting to a wristlet, this headdress, the earrings, whatever fashion is going on here, I want it near me. So I think I'm going to keep the vampire spawn around because I want to go, I need the source, okay? I need the source for those accessories. Vampire group? Hell yeah. Listen, it'll come as a surprise to no one that I was a big Astarion fangirl. So obviously I'm on the bed already for these vampires. You know, they've probably gotten me under their thrall. I'm their blood slave or something. And, you know, if they're looking sexy while drinking my blood, hell yeah. Vampire Umberlord. So I did just go on record and say I'm not into bald. But if this woman told me to do something, I'd do it. You know, she'd go jump. I'd say, how high? She'd say, blink. And I'd say, for how long? Other inscrutable commands, you know, whatever my lady says. I am down for you, my vampire umbral lord or lady. Varrock. This thing is horrifying and disgusting. It's like some carrion bird thing with worms coming out of it. Stay the Vrock away from me. No thanks. Wait. Alright, we're getting to the point where we might have to double back, but Vrock is over here. Warriors, listen. I said yes to the guards. I said yes to the knights. I said yes to the, I will do the service. I will, these people deserve it. Hell yeah, warriors, I'm down. Water elemental. Simply based on the fact of my favoritism towards water-aligned enemies, and that I told you to hear me out on the air elemental. I think the water elemental could do its thing. I think so. Water weird. This, on the other hand, not as into, because clearly it requires someone else to summon it. I don't want to be dependent on someone who needs to be created by someone else in order to function. I want to call you. I want to say, you up. I want to say you down. I Netflix and chill. And this water weird is a little bit too weird for me. So it's a no thanks. Were creatures. Thought they had to inform me that this BDSM-ass looking werebear was technically good. He's chasing off the were-boar and the were-rat. I have never been interested in were anything. Like the whole lycanthropy werewolf thing. On the spectrum of vampires to werewolves, I was always leaning more towards the vampire side. And the fact that we have like subcategories of were creatures is bizarre to me. It makes sense, right? If you could have a werewolf, why could you not have were insert creature here? But it is horrifying, and they are now a mixture of animal. So no. Were creatures, you can hang out next to the water weird. Were tiger, the entire argument I just made also applies to this. Just because it's a tiger, a cooler animal than any of the ones we just saw, does not mean it gets to change categories. Were tiger hangs out next to its were siblings. Werewolf, I think this one actually looks the most beast-like out of all of them. Like in the were-boar, the were-bear, like it really looked more like they were people with kind of the relevant head stuck on top. This is just a wolf that is also kind of wearing clothing. Listen, you've heard my argument already. Begone werewolf. Hang out next to the were-tiger. Maybe it can teach you something about fashion. White dragon wormling, look at this gross little thing. I'm obsessed with it. I need this creepy little wormling in my life. I love it. This white dragon looks sick. I love this design. Now, the adult white dragon, right? It's already quite beefy. I already slammed the red dragon for having a super thick neck. But I think the adult white dragon makes it work. It looks fierce. I love the curved spines here. It's hunting this mammoth. It knows what's what. But it doesn't look like it has an inflated sense of ego. I think the adult white dragon has a reason to be feared, and it knows it, and it's a bad bitch. Therefore, hear me out. Ancient white dragon, I'm not as into. It looks like it got older, which obviously it did get older because it is now ancient. But I'm not into the old man vibes, okay? I'm really not. Also, it's at the point where I think the spines are starting to get too much. It's starting to crawl up the wings here. It's starting to look too much like an old man beard. So it's a no thanks to the ancient white dragon. The adult can call me though. White. I like the blue and black contrast. Like, I like the glowy lighting here. But I cannot get over the ghoulish, the skeleton adjacent imagery. I can't. White goes in no thanks. Will-o-wisp. Listen, if I thought it was goofy to smack a face onto the body of a naga, I'm gonna think it's goofy to smack a face onto this golden orb of light. Not to mention the fact that there's like evil ones here. Like, is this the good one? Is this like a good versus bad situation? I would be unable to look at the will-o-wisp without laughing. For its own mental health, I'm putting it in no thanks. Winter wolf. Animal. Warg. Sorry, it's still too, like, wolf or animal adjacent. No thank you, Mr. Warg. Wraith. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I wish I was more appreciative of the undead section of the monster manual, but it's an ick. It's an ick. I'm sorry, Wraith. Wyvern. I think this is goofy ass looking, and I would probably laugh at it, which I think would immediately result in my death, considering this poison-tipped stinger, if it didn't already chop my head off. So for everyone's personal safety, the wyverns go in no. Xorn! I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm looking at. And I think because of the order of its limbs, the way that its body is like physically set up, shall we say, there's not a high chance that we could really get something going, okay? It's a no thanks. Yeti! There is a world in which this would be on the green side of the chart, but it just slightly looks too monstrous, okay? I know that seems like antithetical to this entire video, but I am afraid that if it got near me, it would immediately swallow me whole and I would suffocate and die. Which, you know, is good if you're a predator and you're trying to, like, scare everyone or eat everyone. But I just, you know, Yeti, I think it's just, you know, wrong time and place. Wrong time and place. Call me in 10 years or something when maybe you've had a chance to mellow out. Alright, Abominable Yeti is more along the lines of what I'm talking about. You know, maybe this is Yeti's, like, more confident, more capable older brother? Uncle, perhaps? Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. The Yok LOL. This thing is horrifying, and I think I would be afraid that at any moment, while it's moving, its guts would simply exit its body and it would stop moving. Therefore, a dead body would be near me, and I don't want that. Not to mention that thing looks horrifying. No thank you, yokel. Yuan-Ti infiltrators. These guys test me. These guys are testing my bounds. They are snake people. They're cultist snake people. But, like, they've got this roguish look going on, right? The fact that I'm unable to find a viable reason to say no means that, hear me out, okay? Maybe we could have, like, I don't know what, but we could have something. All right, the Yuan-Ti Malisons, it's never happening. I'm sorry. This is when I can clearly see you are part animal. Obviously, in this case, Yuan-Ti, you're part snake. The snake head is hilarious. This is so funny, and I would simply be laughing at them the whole time. With this one over here, I would be worried that at any moment I would be about to be bit by 2 snake heads at once. I don't need that kind of problems in my life. No thanks. Sick designs. This is another type of Malison. I did give the merfolk a pass, but this one just looks snake enough that it's a no. I'm sorry. You know, what can I say? I'm inconsistent and unfair, but this is my personal ranking. So screw you. Hang out with your Malison brothers. Yuan-Ti Abomination, same reason. A cool design. I dig the color scheme, but you are a big snake thing with arms spitting venom. No thank you, Yuan-Ti. I hope you enjoy your occultism in peace. Group of zombies! No! I'm done! Alright, you guys. And with that, we have reached the end of my enormous list of monster manual pictures, and I have, to the best of my ability, ranked all of them. I'm sure that there may have been 1 or 2 or something that I missed. Please let me know. I will personally respond to you and tell you where they belong on this scale. I just need to show you guys how large this image actually is. Okay, so I've made this in Miro. Yeah, so if I just scroll along it, this is actually how huge this image is. I'm gonna see if I can like actually export it as a PNG or something, because I did do this in Miro. I don't exactly know how the files there work, but at the very least I can take a screenshot and save that. I'm on the bed already. The all-stars of this entire monster manual, from A to B: Assassins, the Baylor, the Bandits, the Cambions, the Deva. Probably should be pronounced Diva, honestly. This one I think is probably my favorite. The Empyreans, the Gladiator, the Ancient Gold Dragon, the only kind of dragon to make it. You know, if I had to pick a dragon, it would be this one, and that's why it's here. The Incubus, because obviously, the Solar, the Spies, the Succubus, obviously, and the Vampire Group. Alright, if you disagree with any of this insane creation, let me know in the comments. This is a free world. You all have your opinions. I guarantee they're not the same as mine. If I put your favorite, fuckable monster in, no thanks. I'm sorry. If you're questioning my taste, this is my video and I can do what I want. Make your own 3-hour long monster manual attractiveness ranking, and then we can have a conversation. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. If you actually watched all of this, you are insane and my type of person. Please, please, please join our Discord so we can have in-depth discussions about this monstrosity that I have created. AB out.